Hello and welcome to Trucking Answers. It's Tuesday, 12:30 p.m. approximately, depending on where you are. It's 88 degrees and sunny today here in beautiful Lafayette, Indiana, our headquarters. Hope everyone is doing good. Hey, no poaching is illegal, says the Department of Justice, which I've always said. So CRST, which was part of this lawsuit, the DOJ says no, thank you. AB5 port protests are up. But what are they doing? 60-mile-an-hour speed limiters, are they coming? More record results for carriers, and going right along with that, the ATA opposes paying drivers. Oh, I love it. We have some fuel. And also, I didn't put it up there, KLLM buys Quest. So anyone here from Quest, there are not that many drivers there, so I'd love to hear from you and see what you think about that and see if they've said anything, like we're going to do something different or, what's going on with that. So that's what's going on here today. We'll see what's going on with you today. All right, so we had first was Alex M. was first today. And then Cartage Studios, I have second on my screen here. Mark Lindquist is here today. Flat Highway, hello. Joan Harper, welcome. What state are you in today? Wow, you're really making tracks out there. GJG is here. George Wilson, what's going on? Ansel and Penelope Rain Blossom Smith, one of the longest names on YouTube, made it, and they won't be on the show. So, Chad Gaston, hello there. Sirens outside. Hope the po-po's not coming. If the show ends abruptly, that might be the problem. Trucker Hershey is here. Hello. John Zablack. Gracie, she's sleeping. I just watched her. I just found her. She's sleeping. Grafton, hello there. John M. Good taco, yes. For not first, hope you don't get disqualified. Ken, exactly. That could happen. Flip-flop fool, love it. Oh, I must have got him at the J. Howdy, everyone. Chris, welcome to the big show. Another tantalizing tube steak Tuesday. Oh, maybe we can put that up there. It's a lot of alliteration, too. So, Monty Murphy, what's up? Hey, what's going on? I'll take door number 2. Sam Dillsaver. Hello, everyone from Cedar Rapids Highway, going to East Peoria, then Chicago for a second drop. Well, that sounds delightful. Going to Chicago. Yeah, that's always fun. Better than Detroit. They're going to close their highway for a week, so that's a problem. Hey, Mark and Gracie from Collinsville, Illinois. Scott, all right, what's going on? Gracie will, if she ever wakes up, I'm sure she will appreciate what you are saying. Anybody have one of these poach agreements from CRST or England or any of these other schools where they say, hey, these companies can't take our drivers? Well, guess what? They sure can, which I've always said. Oh, man, that is big news. That's big news. Joan Harper still in Arizona. All right, by Flagstaff at the Pilot. All right, in Belmont. Well, what's the weather doing there? You're pretty high up, so it should be a little cooler. Detroit's building that new bridge. Yeah, they said they're going to take out an entire bridge starting July 22nd at 4 a.m. I-94 closes for 7 days straight in Detroit. So if you're headed to Detroit the end of the week or next week, check traffic before you go into town. Donald, do you ever find the driver pays going up, going down or staying the same? Well, it depends. I mean, it depends how long you've been driving. I mean, and that is serious. I mean, I have a number of people that write me that have been driving much longer than me. We're driving in the 70s. You know, they were making 100 then. So if you look at long term, the pay is going down. If you find people that started a few years ago, 5-6 years ago, they say, well, no, Mark, the pay is going up. So it just depends. That's why I think they want new people, a churn of new people all the time in so that people perceive the pay is going up when it really isn't. My lives are Friskies. She likes Friskies and Whiskas, by the way, Scott. So she likes Whiskas the best. I'm here watching from my eye hole, flip-flop fool. I'm sure that's disappointing, too. Most people usually have an eye patch when they watch the show, so they only have to see me from one eye, which is only half as bad. Poach eggs, not drivers, John. Oh, that's good. That would make a good bumper sticker. Turns out companies, the Department of Justice called it price fixing in the industry, where they purposely can't get other drivers, and that lowers wages artificially for drivers. Yes, that's what we've been saying all along. CRST, so suck it over there in Iowa. Ken P, what's happening? Required Gracie snack fee. She will appreciate that if she ever wakes up. But thank you very much. She'll be up later today, I'm sure, for 5 minutes. Flat Highway, Etna, Ohio. I blew both steers at the Loves waiting on tires. Wow, how does that happen? Well, that'd be a rough ride if they both went out at the same time. Highs in the low 80s, nights in the 50s. All right. Well, that's not bad. Low 80s. It's better than here. Tomorrow, 94 here. So That's not good. John M., you forgot a reason we do not have large settlements on Mars. You forgot there's no Mars hammer to get large settlements. Oh, that's good. That's good. I like that. I should steal that for the next podcast for whenever that comes out. My chair is falling. Oh, that's better. Hey, Mark, I'm in Charlton, Iowa at the Hy-Vee dropping in Hook. All right, what's going on there? Chariton, Iowa? What's going on at that place? Mark, I noticed a big increase in pay after I got my 1,000,000 miles. Did you really? Some companies do that. I mean, some of them do that kind of stuff. Hope drivers all are checking all. Good morning, Mark from Spokane, Washington. And what's going on out there? Should be better weather there, too. What's the law in Kennesaw? Well, we'll find out from Quest, who is headquartered down in that area. And now all the Quest drivers work for KLLM. Paul Vinetello, brothers and sisters of the Super Slab, which is all overheated today. And in Texas, of course, what they say, what did Tesla say? Hey, could you not charge your car to ease the grid? All right, and then what do they say? If you don't have any money, go buy an electric car. So how's that going to work? I don't know. That would be for an automotive section of the podcast, which would be the second half. Someone lost a set of tandems west of St. Louis. Bad day for sure, Scott. So just two, or... I mean, I don't know. I never know how that happens. You'll see these things sitting in the median. I'll see them leaning up against a guardrail, or sometimes you'll see a single tire just laying there. I'm like, how do these come off? You know, does no one check this kind of stuff? You just go out for drive forever and never check anything. I always wonder, did this person just get tires put on? Did they just have their tires changed? John, I've been here 3 days. I'm sick, trying to get feeling better. Yeah, well, take it easy. At least you're somewhere with civilization, and certainly in a better place there than most of the drivers that are sitting around there. Hope all drivers are checking their tires and fluids in this hot weather. Yeah, don't run low on your tire air because they're going to explode. You know, any tire that's, 50-50 or whatever, and then you run it at 8 pounds, what people do, tires kablamo. And that's the actual sound they make. It's Mr. Plow. Hey, Mark, I got nothing. Well, thank you very much. And I appreciate that. That'll go to Gracie's fund. Probably a bearing gave out. Oh, that could be. Wouldn't you see it smoking out there? Maybe not. Maybe don't notice. Then they just roll right off the truck. The weather's been beautiful so far. No wildfire smoke. That has been like the fifth season's past summers. Yeah, the place is burned. The whole state is basically burning down. And so you get all this smoke. Covers your car. Plus Mount St. Helens. That's all. That explodes every year. Oh, no, maybe not. Public school. Stay hydrated. Yeah. Maybe they should send out text messages about that. Winter, spring, summer, fall, and smoke. Smoke is all the time out there, right? Well, at least it's cheap living in Washington State, so I understand. Although I do think you have a front license plate, which always bothers me. I can't put a decorative front plate on my car out there because I'll get in trouble with the cops. It was sitting on the shoulder next to the wall. Yeah, I love it. They just roll off. You just see these, and I'm sure everybody sees them. They just kind of like roll off the truck and just ease themselves over to the side of the road or whatever, and waiting for the next person. I'm surprised some owner-operator doesn't go grab them, although I don't know how you'd get them in your truck. Maybe if you had a winch, a flatbed with a winch, you could get them up there. Because that's some value in that. There's value in there. Take a tire and a rim or whatever. They could sell the rims and stuff, so it won't sit there long. And do the police come out and put one of those stickers on it, one of those orange stickers, and say, hey, you have 7 days to remove your axle, basically, from the side of the road. North Carolina's got speed enforcement coming up for the next week, by the way. They're looking at speed enforcement for the state. They've got a lot of states doing a lot of enforcement actions here coming up, really. But North Carolina's going to do a bunch of speed enforcement for everybody. So keep the speed down out there. I just can't believe it. This is just the most fascinating. I just saw it a little bit earlier, too, this no-poach thing. I've always said this. CRST is the worst at this, where you'll go to work at another company, and then CRST is one of them. But they'll send a cease and desist to that other company that says, you can't poach our drivers. And I said, absolutely not. That's illegal, but I'm not an attorney. And people have sued them about this. Well, this case finally came up, and the Department of Justice said, hey, per se, it's illegal, meaning it's inherently illegal. Just saying that, it's not. You can't do that. People are allowed in the United States to work wherever they want. Now, CRST could always claim their amount of money, like you owe us $7,000 still or whatever. That's one thing. But they can't say we're going to basically blackball you out of the industry. You have to either work here or nowhere else, because then nobody gets a raise. It doesn't raise anybody's rates because you can't go anywhere. It doesn't raise anybody's wages. And finally, this has come up, and the DOJ said that. That's their words. It's per se illegal and wage fixing in the industry to reduce wages. CRST, by the way, had no comment. So, as you can imagine. So, everybody with these goofy things, people always write to me, well, Mark, if people sign it, they have to abide by it. They do not. Because you sign a contract doesn't mean the contract is legal. All right, it's for the court to determine whether it's legal. Otherwise, people could just sign anything, and that doesn't work. And the court said, no, this is illegal. Scott, you almost grabbed him. Yeah, it's just the thing. How would you get him in the truck or whatever? That's the thing. They're heavy. And then maybe if you have something with ramps on it, something like that, a car hauler, I think you could get it. Autonomous pre-trips. Oh, that's good. See what they'll do. They'll have somebody out there $10 an hour doing pre-trips. And you could just pre-trip all the trucks that day. Culture Who Travels. Hi, Mark. Finally got a roller wiener live. Been driving a lot and dropping in Katy, Texas. All right. Katy, Texas. 1,000 degrees down there. Well, welcome back. Dark 688, my autistic son is turning 11. Every summer we celebrate his birthday at the ocean. He loves the beach and the ocean. That's awesome. Haven't been out to the ocean in many years. Yeah, take him out there. I love the seagulls, though. That's the thing. Whenever I went south, usually I'd get on to Florida or whatever. I love feeding seagulls. So I'll go get a bunch of food for them and try to get them to land on my hand and stuff. And, they're pretty aggressive about it. So maybe feed the seagulls. Feed one for me. Freddie, some driver lost his trailer in Mobile, Alabama tunnel. Look a shame. What do you mean he lost it? Like, it came off the truck? That tunnel in Mobile, or did it hit the top, Mr. John? Right, each trailer's. Can anyone give me the correct pickup number? Yeah, why don't they give out the correct stuff? And a phone number for you to call, too, in case there's a problem. Illegal contracts are unenforceable. I know I try to tell people that, but everybody, a lot of people will write and say, well, if they sign it, they have to do it. No. And this is illegal. You can't stop people in the United States from taking a better job. And that's what these contracts did. So other companies wouldn't hire you because they were afraid of it. Now we have finally the government saying, no, that is illegal, per se illegal. Stan made it to the show. Good Cardiff Studios. I was offered a job at ADS, Advanced Drainage Systems, for a local job that pays 58 cents a mile. When I asked why mileage and not hourly, they said for the off chance I'm out overnight. Oh, yeah, for just that, I would turn it down, even hourly. The off chance. I don't want an off chance. It's just not for me. But I don't like mileage on a local job. Why aren't they paying by the hour? What about the off chance you get stuck in traffic? How about the off chance of that? Maybe they should, pay hourly for that. Ken P. Hey, TNF. Got to pay Gracie's $5 late fee. Gracie. Going to the beach is a great birthday present. Kelter Rooster Travels. Yeah, exactly. Except to see me on the beach, I'm either completely covered or slathered in so much suntan lotion. I can't be out more than a few minutes. So for me anymore, I'm covered up out there. I still like feeding seagulls, so. Walk around the summertime saying, how about this heat? Yeah, in Texas, what? Well, in England, 104 degrees today. 104 degrees, which is 272 in metric, I think. Mark likes flock of seagulls. I do. It's a sad day in Etna, Ohio at the Loves. There's no roller wieners. Well, why not? Tomorrow, a flat highway is roller wiener day. Tomorrow is National Hot Dog Day. Loves nationwide are giving away a free roller item. It's at any roller item of your choice tomorrow. You have to go in the Loves app, apparently, anytime from midnight to midnight tomorrow, and claim your barcode for a free roller item of any kind. Tornadoes, they said, wieners, whatever you want. And it said free condiments because no one likes a dry wiener. So that's that said. GP Transco does Texas too. John, yes, I think so. I think they go all over. Mr. John did a short run last night. My meat driver was 2 hours late, but was still on an 8-hour day. Yeah, that's still not bad. I wish they would call you, though. Either the company or the other driver, if you know who it is, should let you know, hey, I'm running late. So you're not sitting there like, oh, they come in the next 2 minutes. I don't know if I should go inside or wherever you are. At least let you know. Joe, hello, Mark. I currently broke down with injector problems. The broker's demanding I rent a truck. I told him, where's that demand in the rate con? Yeah, rent a truck. Can you just go do that, too? Is it that simple? Is it like going to Hertz? How hard would it actually be? I'm not saying to do it. I'm just wondering how difficult would it be to rent a truck? One of our favorite coastal towns is Rockaway Beach, Oregon. Oh, sweet. Are there seagulls there? Haven't been out there in a while. Drop trailer, kingpin wasn't locked. But he made it that far, so did it actually have a fifth wheel problem? Is that the issue? Because we had a couple of those, so we're not sure. I always wonder if it's a problem with mechanical problem. Gracie for President 2024. She sleeps through everything, it would say. Gracie and Mark, I got to be the vice president? Holy mackerel. So is it still hard for companies to find drivers? Where do you think it's leveled out? And I'm not talking about Western Express. The scumbags, I'm talking about decent companies. Well, interesting. Martin Transport, who I would say is not some scumbag company, right, is in the news. Record results. And they said part of the reason they made so much money is because they were able to hire 422 drivers this year so far. So apparently there's drivers to be found depending on the company that you are. And really, these companies put through so many people. If they have a 100% turnover at, England with several thousand trucks, they're hiring thousands of drivers a year. So it doesn't seem to be hard for companies to find drivers, whether they're Western Express or Martin or anybody else in the industry, So companies seem to be able to get people. It's just, can they keep people? How long were you homeless for, and what was your everyday life like, Joe? Not long. That was many years ago. Maybe I'll talk about that longer on the podcast sometime. But yeah, and everyday life is pretty horrible when you don't have anywhere to live. When you got to go to the library to get a drink of water. So I don't recommend it. It's life-changing. You're absolutely right about being out of the industry for a couple of years. It's the kiss of death. Yeah, I got passed over again for a part-time trucking gig. I know. This is a real problem. And it's like, what do they think? You forget how to drive? Even though you're not out very long, you're going to have to find some small place maybe that'll take you if you wanted to do it. Where it's one guy that owns 5 trucks or something like that, or some little place. Because it's really hard to get back in. You either have to stay in. Once you're out, you're out. They're like, get out. Wieners at the manhole are always moist. Depends how long they've been there. You get a kind of wrinkly after a while. You go in there, when you go in there at 10 in the morning and there's that one wrinkled one in the back, they put it on yesterday afternoon. Flip-flop fool, I had a seagull drop a crab 10 yards away from me in Boston. I thought someone threw a bottle at me. He grabbed the meat and flew off. Yikes. He had a whole crab? How did he hold it? Oh, in his mouth, I guess. In his beak. I'm thinking they don't have any, they have a webbed feet. Enterprise truck, they'll pick you up. Can you just go get a semi? Like, say you need a semi. Can you just bebop down to Penske and say, I'll take one semi? Do they have them? And how easy would it be to do? My 20 more years mostly hauling hazmat and clean record with all endorsements seems to be meaningless after leaving the industry. Yeah, just 2 years out, and they just throw all that away like it doesn't mean anything. Doesn't make any sense, does it? They want, we need experienced drivers, and then you come in with experience, they go, oh, well, that was 20 years ago. But if you'd kept driving those 2 years, they'd count all of it. Like it's still experience. It's stupid. No such thing as a seagull. It's just a gull. I call it a seagull. Why is it not a seagull? I hear Western Express is paying up to 130. Dude, I see that too. Up to 130. Yeah, because the CEO makes 130,000. So theoretically, you could get that. Culture Street Travels, not impressed, loves, make you jump through hoops for a dog. Free roller wiener day every day at the manhole. They'll always put a wiener in your mouth at the manhole for free. Well, I assume most people have the Loves app. So apparently there's going to be some kind of barcode you can show to the cashier and get your free wiener if you're in there anyways. Might be worth it. I'm homeless or houseless. Well, yeah, kind of, I guess. Free roaming, let's put it that way. Seagull or gull, I just call it a rat with wings. There's a lot of them. I like them. My name is Timothy McVeigh, and I would like to rent a truck. Yes, please, I would like to rent a truck. There's more to talk about at that, but if we said too much about that, of course, we'd get in trouble here. Leo's Madness, I may be being abused, or is this what I want? Last week, Salinas to Dallas, to Laredo, to Salinas and back. No, to Dallas, using agriculture exemption to get it done during my 34. 9 a.m. yesterday? Really? How do you use an ag exemption? I guess because of the miles and stuff, I'm not 100% on that stuff. Flying vermin. Well, look, somebody's got to do it. All this stuff's got to be cleaned up. We think about that, but everything that they eat, has got to be gone. They keep everything clean. I like them. Gigantic. After a tow bill, repair costs, and whole state and hotel, they want me to pay the cost of a rented truck for one load. I'll let them take it back to the shipper. Yeah, I'm just curious. Could you get a truck if you wanted one? Like, if you have the ability, can you go down to Penske and just say, I'd like a semi for the day? Do they need anything from you, like authority or insurance or anything? Or can you just, like, slap down a Visa and say, hey, I'll take that one? You know, because for one day you could take a day cab. And I'm just curious what that might cost. And if it's even possible. Right, I agree with you. Let them take it back. If they want that, then they have to put that in there. Everything that's in writing, they got to do it in writing. Young Siles, 17. Can't believe U.S. Express on a dedicated account matches half 401k and full-time benefits. Well, that's pretty good. U.S. Express on dedicated, though, people do pretty good on that stuff. Is there a manhole at the Loves after dark? There's a manhole day and night there. Right, why do you think they call it Loves? Everybody loves it. Loves opens up a heart-shaped manhole after dark. Some of them better than others. Not like that driver that got at that Loves. He was in the shower for 4 hours, and which rhymes, and they had to evict him out of the shower. What the heck is happening? Who stays in the shower for 4 hours? I mean, wouldn't you be all pruny after that? I agree, Martin Transport is a good place to work. I've been there for 15 years. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. So, I mean, and they hired 422 people and had record results again. So they're able to hire people. There's people around to hire. I saw my first GP Transco truck traveling west of Spokane on Highway 2. Well, that's a long ride for them. Hopefully they get a load like out of there that comes all the way like to Georgia or something. That's what I'm looking for. Joe, well, I know for sure you have to get your MC number and DOT number put on the truck. You have to get your ELD installed in the truck. Oh, so you got to, just for a day, you got to do all that? And so then you need that number, or would the company have to do it? What a mess. I'm glad I don't have to go in there and run a truck. When they take me over, then I just go, you're going to get a truck here. I just go pick up a truck. It's all done. Hard to go along with their original choice of Rosebud. Cleaner than a pilot. It varies, right? Truck stop cleanliness varies. Joan Harper was married, pregnant, and lived between homeless shelters and a pickup. Yikes. That's no good. It makes you a gestational person, as I saw in the news this week, which made me barf. Ansel and Penelope Blossom Smith. Hey, you're back. 4 hours in the shower sounds more like a budget hotel room. Yeah, what are we doing? They had to evict the guy, and I don't know how they ever noticed. They've never checked on me in a shower. Of course, I'm not in there that long. But I had 2 times now when I was in a shower and the power went out at the truck stop, and no one ever checked on me either time. This is during cell phone time, so it's been since then, because I remember each time I just got out and turned on the light on my phone so that I could see in there, which that little bitty light is actually enough to see what you're doing. And nobody checked on me. I thought, well, I'm in here. I'm just going to finish my shower. And I did, and just gave him the towel. Nobody thought anything about it. Now with the electronic locks, though, this was still a key lock. I probably wouldn't be able to get in. A very filthy driver will shower for 4 hours. Well, we got to give them that. At least hopefully they're coming out of there clean. We got to at least hope for that. But apparently they finally noticed, hey, you know what? This driver didn't come out of there. And they went in. They actually had to call the police because they thought maybe something happened to him, which could possibly happen. You might fall and you can't get up. There's no time limit for a love shower. One, I think, though, probably a reasonable amount of time would be, an hour? I think that's way more than satisfactory before you should be booted out of there. Maybe they should put a time limit on them. 15 minutes max in shower is enough. Yeah, what is going on in there? Are you writing a novel in there? What's happening? I mean, what can you possibly do in there? Watching a show? Watching Stranger Things? That's what I hear kids like today. Gear Jammer, you can play with your willing to take a poop and take a shower in under an hour. You can get everything done in less than an hour, certainly. Young Sal's GP Transco told my buddy that lives in Arizona for West Coast, you need to be out 4 weeks. They are out a long time out there. That's bottom of the barrel. He said, no, thank you. That's mentally tough. It is, but look, here's the thing. I don't know if it's bottom of the barrel. They're being honest with you and saying, look, if you live here, it's going to be 4 weeks. A lot of companies, just to hire you, will just say, oh, yeah, we can get you home or whatever, and then don't. I'd much rather a place was honest with me. And then I can say, okay, I accept 4 weeks or I don't accept 4 weeks. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't find any problem with that. What I do find a problem is what if they told him, yeah, we can get you home, and then he gets on, and then we can't get you back. It's 4 weeks. That's worse. They're being honest. They're saying, look, you live there, you're out a month. What do you think? And he could take it or not take it. 2, 4, or 6 hour motel rooms. Yeah, with that thing next to the bed, put the cord in the bed vibrator. Daryl can't. I wouldn't know. I don't know anything about that. Keltruster travels. Maybe he fell asleep in the shower room. I guess that's possible. Where would you sleep? Just laying on the floor of the shower? Yikes. It's like prison then. Come and knock on our door. Oh, great. Thank you, Jack. Power outage while showering. Amazing how you can still get the job done. Well, you basically know where everything is. And I did turn my phone light on, but they didn't check on anybody. I thought you'd think they would go and knock on all the doors and see if because there's no lights. I'm like, where's the emergency light? Oh, it's in the hallway. So it's all dark in there. How safe are the truck stop towels? I used them. But you know what? I never used flip-flops or shower shoes either and never had any issues. So I think I got lucky on that, I guess. But I used their towels. No problem. I did laundry yesterday, $2.75 to wash and $2.75 to dry. Whenever I had a laundromat, and we have laundry now, of course, but when I had a small apartment living for a laundromat or whatever, I took it to the launder and just paid them per pound. And I'll tell you, for $5, you can get a lot of laundry done when you're paying by the pound. They fold all your clothes up, and then you come and pick them up later. Well worth doing. Then you don't have to sit there and do laundry. John, not to mention the price of detergent and fabric softener. Ken, yeah, you got to factor all that in. So if there's a laundromat, usually they have a laundry service. Say how much, and you just hand them a bag of clothes, and they charge you per pound. It's not much. You'd be surprised how little it costs. Family Guy, Peter goes to the laundromat all the time. The USAA1 American Laundromat. Not to mention the price of detergent. Right, I didn't, and I did mention it again, even though I'm not to mention it. I was in line for a shower at Love's. There was a driver that was in the shower and kept going back to his truck. I finally told the cashier she had to tell the user to leave. What are you doing? Bring your items with you. Well, how many things do you need in there also? They basically give you all you need, basically. Although women would, you can't wash your hair with a bar of soap. I'm like, the heck you can't. But even so, bring all your stuff in there with you. That's why you went in there, right? Go get your shower, bring your bag in. It's not that complicated. Why do people make that complicated? Are there shower time limits at the manhole? It depends. It depends on what you're having, washed. And if the driver was driving for K&B taking for a shower, they would have been a wellness check. They would have the cops come. K&B would have called the cops for him. Hey, it's time for you to get rolling. What are you doing? Truck and freedom, 45 minutes of Jubits. All right. Plus truck keys if using their towel or a $10 deposit. They still do that? Oh, my gosh. That's been a while since you had to do that. And so years ago, we would just have a key, just a random key that you would give them. You would never give them your truck key because what if they lost it? So I'd have a random key on a thing that you'd hand over. Yeah, you don't see the deposits or that stuff anymore. I'm surprised Jubits doesn't have its own card or some other way to do it. That's really something. What happens if Trucking Answers comes on during the shower? Can be. You should absolutely turn it on and watch it in there. It's one way. Mr. Canby will call another driver to team shower with you for safety. Hey, go in there and check on that driver. I would say they probably would call another driver in the parking lot to go check on you because they've done that to drivers in their truck. They'll send them a message because people have sent me the messages that says, hey, there's this truck driver in this truck. Go over there and see if he's okay. Truck stop showers are like Vegas. You just roll the dice. They're pretty much okay. They're way better than they were. Open showers will get you in and out faster. That is how it was starting. Older truck stops, when I started driving, was a shower room. And you would bring your stuff in there and have a room kind of like the Y, where you'd have a shower head with four shower things on it. I saw a guy fall asleep in a rest area on the toilet. Chris, you know what? I might let him sleep. If you are so tired that you fall asleep on a toilet in a rest area, you should be parked. All right? You're not being paid enough. Think about that. Young Stalls, I think I'm pretty put where I'm at now. Next year in February, I'm going to up to 76 cents a mile. That's a lot. And it's amazing about being out 4 days and 3 days off. I have a set schedule. That's pretty good. 76 cents anymore? That is very good money. I'm not sure I don't want other people touching my delicates. I thought of that too. But then I thought, you know what? Believe me, what are they going to do with my underwear? Put it on their head and run around? I don't think so. And they get all this stuff in there every day. So I'm like, who cares? Just give them the laundry and pay your $8 or whatever and be done with it. You could hear him snoring from the next stall over. What's that snoring? I just dropped my heavy lock on my foot. Do not recommend. Oh, yeah, those gigantic padlocks that I see in these trucks. Yeah, that's why you have to wear steel-toed flip-flops. Those flip-flops in the truck stop bathroom, no thanks. Yeah, it was never a problem. Never an issue. They clean those thoroughly. They say so. Stan, the size of drivers today, maybe that guy had a lot to wash. Maybe. They used to call that derogatorily, I suppose, the fat boy shower is what people would tell me, where the shower head comes off and so you could move it around, that kind of thing. That was kind of pejorative term for that. The showers at the manhole in the main event that sells out months in advance. Yeah, you wouldn't think you'd like a glass shower in the middle of a room, but, it's not too bad. You get cleaned up. I've had truck stops tell my ex, and we could use the same shower. Yeah, when you team, you can use the same shower if you want to, presumably. So the two you can take one shower. Group showering, transgender. Yeah, whatever. Hey, if you want to go in the shower with somebody, that saves them from having two showers. So no problem. Flip-flops are a good test for a sticky shower floor. Well, see if what is this, the theater? To be fair, there are times in the toilet afterwards I was so exhausted I felt like sleeping. I mean, you're afterwards from the being on the toilet or from driving. I mean, if you're so tired from driving, right, maybe it's time to take a nap rather than falling asleep on the can. That's what I'm saying. If you go in there and you sit down and you're sleeping in 2 seconds, you are too tired to drive. Let's get some sleeping time going in there, really. So KLLM buys Quest. So we have another company that falls. This is a team company, and I've recommended Quest to many teams. You got to to go down there as a dedicated team because they have these coast-to-coast runs, Georgia to Washington to California back, big triangle. That's some good runs. And so now I'm waiting to hear about what they're going to do to Quest. Are they going to ruin it? Is it going to be better? Maybe you'll get more freight? I don't know. Wear my t-shirt on my head on a sweaty day. John, really? Think you don't have a shirt on? That kind of bothers me outside when I see men without shirts on. Now, I don't mind men without hats. That's different. Young Salas, this year I'm looking around 115. That's very good money. Without the sign-on, 12,000. I'd be doing 97,075 cents. Yeah, see, so that's pretty good. I think that's really good money for working 4 days a week. Yes, and a regular run, and you get in a large place. You get a lot of benefits of being at a large place. It's only going up. I barely got my license a year and a half ago. So how much did you make, say, 2 years ago before you got your license? What were you doing and how much were you making a year? This is a blessing. Trucking can change your life. Mr. John, are you 1099? No, thank you. Well, does Sear England 3-bunk trunks also come with 3-team showers? Maybe it's not too bad after all. Yeah, I don't know how... I think you all just take the one shower, right? They get one shower. Since you're all sleeping in the same place, why can't you all shower in the same place? I mean, let's be honest. Every company, what do they all say? You're family, right? So we get a family shower, right? It's just like there's family bathrooms and all that. Hey, you all go in there and you shower up, and tell stories and, whatever all goes on in there, B-man, Hemi forever. What are you doing? Your trainer offers you to share the same shower with him, but you two only have been on the truck together for 2 days. That's how you get to know each other. Getting to know you, you know the song, right? That's how people get to know each other. It's tough to find a decent part-time trucking job gig in Spokane. A real diamond in the rough if you can find a good one. Yes, anywhere is hard to find a part-time job. Really, just add diesel. Thank you very much, by the way. What do you think of Roadmaster Group? What is Roadmaster Group exactly? What do you mean by group? And always a good question to ask here, is anybody here drive for Roadmaster Group? Just started working for Ascend. Do you know anything about this company? Well, you probably know more. You're there. What does the driver manual say? In Indy, by the way, there's what I would call a part-time job going between within 5 miles, okay, and you only work 3 days a week. So 1 day it's 3 days are 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., and the 4th day is 6 p.m. to midnight. And that's not a bad schedule. And you never drive more than 5 miles one way. They're advertising today, so I saw that ad out there today. Magnum, I think, is the name of the place. And I thought, man, that's 42 hours. That's not bad. And only 4 days, really 3.5 days. You get the other 3.5 days off. I like that. Jeff, I lost 39 pounds in 2 months on a strict diet of tuna and water and an occasional banana. No carbs and no sugars. Very low sodium. Wow. Just tuna and a banana. The tuna banana diet. Tuna Banana sounds like a group from the 80s. Next, it's Tuna Banana. The Flying J in Matthew, Missouri Had a driver pass away inside one of the bathroom stalls. Oh, well, you got to go sometime, as they say. So you never know when that is. Could be in a bathroom stall. That's not the good way to go, but lather lost. Okay, so 2019 at the AutoZone, 12 an hour part-time in school. Okay, 200 every 2 weeks. 200 every 2 weeks. Amazon, 15 an hour if they're part-time, 150 set a day. Biweekly, $800. 15,000. See? So you're up considerably from where you were 5 times probably in just a couple of years. That's what trucking really can do to people if they put their mind to it and get in it, keep a good record, and stay with it. Now, presumably you're younger, so start saving some of that money. And this is life-changing money. And you'll have a job your whole life anyways. Mark, do you think some drivers expect too much from their company and then quit? Yes, they do. But then some companies are just horrible and they quit. But yeah, some drivers want, I got to be home. I cannot be home later than this. And here, I forgot to tell you, but I have to be home today at 4 p.m. And they're on the other side of the country. Some stuff like, and then the company doesn't get them home and they're like, oh, well, what is going on? I thought you said I could get home. You do have to be a little reasonable. Sierra England's like Olive Garden. They treat you like family very much when you're all in the shower there. Young Sal's, I lived in California as well with my mother. Wow. Now I moved to Vegas, still warm. If I didn't move this way, I would have never found U.S. Express dedicated account with the 1,100 weekly guarantee. Yeah, but you're doing way better than that, so you never get that guarantee. That's the thing about a low guarantee. Don't worry about it. Worry about how much you're going to make. The guarantee is just there if there's a problem, so you'll at least make that. Because people see 1,100 go, I don't want to work for $1,100. That's just a bottom guarantee. A lot of companies have $1,000, $1,100. Don't worry about that. How much do you make? I saw you special about Dot Trucking. How are they doing? They're doing good as far as I know. Haven't heard from them or didn't gotten any more cheese from up there at the store. But yeah, they're still hiring. Dot always out there hiring. I drove for one chip truck outfit hauling hog fuel. What is hog fuel? And the owner wanted me to give doctored false samples to the paper mills to get premium price when he soaked the lug with a fire hose. That's awesome. Boy, isn't America great? Boy, I just love all these people. They own Tri-State Hazmat Hauler. Oh, and bought SJ Transportation. Really? They own Tri-State? All right, so I'm like Tri-State, so I'm probably in. You can't tune a fish, but you can tune a piano. Team showers don't like the sound of that. That's as bad as Sierra England's menage a trois. Yeah, no, I've seen people do that. Presumably husband and wife or whatever, right? They don't have a marriage certificate, but so I've seen people go in the same shower. So I assume it's a thing. Like it's possible to do. Plus, if the two of you just go back there, what are they going to say to you? I don't know. I'm B. George. Greetings, drivers. Checking while making delivery in Vancouver, Washington. Fleet Nav Systems is here. Everybody's stopping by to say hi. Hope you have a great week. Yeah, it's doing good here. What's going on up there, Fleet Nav Systems? Anything new in the Fleet Nav Systems world as I look for this and poorly find it? There it is. Fleet Nav Systems. All right. Boy, someday I'll have a producer to do all this for me. I would quit over a PACCAR. I mean, that's certainly, you could. Another part-time trucking outfit owner constantly wanted me to run illegal, overweight, and was always trying to short my pay. It's tough to find a decent part-time trucking job. Well, that's awesome. If you don't mind running illegal and overweight, I might pay you late. Could you come to work here? I mean, I don't understand. And then they're like, I don't know why we can't keep people at this place. It's hard to find people that'll do part-time. You should treat them well if people want part-time. Most people would, if you gave them part-time, they'd be like, no way. My first question was, what's home time to you guys? Forget the money. All right. So, right. You found out what's important to you and found a place that does it. So many people don't do that. They just throw a dart or take the first place that brings pizza to the truck school or whatever. Ask them the questions that are important to you. What do you want? And then go find a place that does that and you'll have a great time then. For me, ride home time is more important than money. With the increasing number of female truckers, would it be a profitable and wise decision to become a male lot lizard? Perhaps. You could get on the internet for that. And there's actually a thing today about women driving. It's only about 7% of the population of drivers, although that's more than it has been. The ATA has a new thing out called Women in Motion to try to get more women into trucking. How about one thing the ATA could do is stop drivers from doing number 2 in the parking lots. Gross. Okay, so maybe clean the place up a little bit like that. But and they have a big board of advisors and stuff. They're like 20 people. Only 2 of them are actually drivers. So others are like, CEOs and executives and stuff like that. That's awesome. Any comments on JB Hunt? Yeah, JB Hunt is this dedicated stuff. People write to me. They like it. Road for them, I don't get a lot of positive reviews from the road. But JB Hunt, where they have dedicated, which is most major cities, drivers like it. Because they get a large company again and all the benefits and dedicated. Trucker, should go in the shower now. We'll listen to replay tomorrow. All right, well, thank you. See if there's anybody in there first. Nice REO Speedwagon reference. Thank you. I've seen them at concert. Oh, yeah. Lansing, Illinois. Hog fuel is the bark from logs. Oh, Columbia, Georgia. Really? What do they do with it? What happens with it then? So it's log bark, but what do they do with it? JP's brother's Mike. Hog fuel is used for fuel in the paper mill boilers. Okay, I see. We'd think they wouldn't want it soaked with water. I'm making $16.79 gross, $11.50 net after benefits. Then run to Seattle, back to Vegas, 2 days, 2 days home weekly. Yeah, all right. So, and 2 years ago, you're making half that. I mean, that's amazing. And that kind of money is more than the average person makes in the United States. What's that, 80, 85-ish right there? $1,000 a year, that's very good money. You're on the road to success. Fleet Nav Systems business is booming. Awesome. Working on new videos again here shortly. That's excellent. That's what we want to hear, because if your business is booming, then truck drivers are out driving. On the England showers, the middle guy is required to wear a loofah shirt. Wow. You can get that at the England store at england.com/store. Let's get rutting. Wow. Any companies or people train you with a permit? Bantu Mandinka. Yeah, almost every company that will take people and train them with no permit takes them with a permit. So type into your search engine largest 10 trucking companies in the United States and call them. And I would bet at least 8 of them will take you with a permit. How do you feel about Seva Logistics? I think they're the ones that somebody said they don't pay overtime on local work, but I do see them advertised all over. Every 27th of the month this year, I get my 1,000 monthly sign-on. Above my pay, do they pay it? So every check once a month goes to $26.79 and bring home $2,000. And is it ever late? Because that's so aggravating at places. Or on time. They promise it, they should certainly pay it. Both part-time outfits were perfect schedules that worked around my autism family needs. But both owners were scumbags. Yeah. And that's a problem in trucking. And I just don't understand it. How many people do companies get saying, yes, I'd like to just work part-time? Probably not many. And so then here they get somebody part-time, and then they got to be scumbags about it. What is the driver's name at the Flying J, Elvis? I didn't say what his name was. Drivers need potty training. That driver seemed to be successfully doing that just outdoors, which is one of the problems. Got to run. All right, thanks, Fleet Nav Systems. Get back to work. You got a lot of work to do up there. Enjoy. We'll see you soon. Where'd this go? Okay. I lose my spot easily. Young Sal's, I really got accepted in a new place in Summerlin. I'm excited. Rent $1,780. Oh, you have to make 3 times more, and I got accepted. No problem. It's super fancy. I was going to say, that's a nice place. $1,780. Wow. So you have to make 3 times that. $6,000 a month. That's only $72,000. Right? So you're making that. Isn't that pretty nice? You get to live pretty good. How many countries is Trucking Answers in? I've missed the podcast lately. I'll have to look. I'll say we're probably closing in on 60 countries, something in there, in that kind of range. I haven't looked lately either, because they are coming on more slowly now, because I've exhausted the amount of countries where there's English speakers, I think. But we're in close to 60 countries, more than a quarter of the planet. More than a quarter of the number of countries on the planet. Just at diesel, someone asked about home time. I've never missed a weekend in 6 years and make 85 at SJ. Yeah, see, so if a place says you're going to be home on the weekends, and then they get you home on the weekends, they have a happier driver. Huh. Why don't all companies do that kind of stuff? That's always my question about it. I think it's a good investment in myself with a gym, pool, jacuzzi, private community. Oh, is it gated? So fancy. I knew somebody that used to live in a gated community. What was the name? Near Valparaiso. Something of the Woods. Hen of the Woods or something. Gated. You'd have to go see him. You'd go up and pull up to a gate with a security guard. Yes, I'm here to. Oh, yes, wait here while I call and see if someone like yourself can be admitted. Love it. I thought, man, this place is fancy. David Churchill Brown, 20 for your tanker driver. Eyesight 2050. What about passing? Any suggestions? I don't know what I'm going to do. Glasses? Or is that as much it can be corrected to? I think you have to correct to 2040 to pass, right? I mean, I don't know. I mean, for that, it would seem like better glasses. And I don't know if you can get an exemption for that or not. And you can always stay in trucking, right? You can work in the office, that kind of thing. But what about glasses? I mean, what am I missing on that? Going into New York, left lane, no trucks. Guess what is broken down? A semi-truck in the left lane. SpaceX Transport. It's SpaceX? I got to believe that's some broken down Volvo. Hey, at least you don't have to pay a toll, right? It pays out every 26th guaranteed, shows on their app. I received 4,000. All right. I mean, once they say it, I have had people not there, but some companies say this, and then when it comes time to pay it, they don't pay it. And that's a real problem. If they're paying it, hey, more power to them. And for you, just that's half your rent right there. Right there. Been with Schaefer 3 weeks, been home every weekend. Good pay, can't complain. All right. They used to have a little terminal here in Lafayette. I haven't been by it lately, up in North 9th Street. A very small Crete Schaefer drop yard. So that might still be up here. Did the trains go on strike? Good for trucking? I didn't know the trains went on strike. Oh, no, right. Okay, I know what you're talking about. No, the president, Joe Biden, who is a truck driver, wrote a thing out that they couldn't strike. They had to do 30 days with some kind of government mediator that they're sending out there. So that's right. I read about that. So currently no strike. And look, if you have a union and cannot strike, there's no strength in your union. That's your whole strength. So I still think you don't have to come to work, but that's just me. 1 bedroom, 1 bath, but home weekly now and set routine. I just had them to let me know if I could park the bobtail inside. I wonder what they'll say. They go, sir, for $17.80. You tell them that, they're never going to let you stay there. Oh, we didn't realize you were a driver. You'll have to leave. I have to get going. My wife is getting ready to leave for work, and I have to get back to my 3 kids. I'm glad I was able to catch another one of your great live streams. God bless. Well, thank you for being here, and hope you find something out there. It's probably tough at part-time. We'll see you on the next show. CFI sure doesn't get you home for weekends. James Bass, time to move out if you want to be home weekends. And not everybody wants to be home on the weekends. But I do think if you're going to be out, they might as well roll you. I would be super aggravated for every weekend to sit at a truck stop for a 34-hour break when I could just be at home. I mean, what's the point of that? If I'm going to roll over the weekend, I want to roll. $530 million mega ball will buy a lot of wieners. Oh, and not tomorrow, you'd get all those wieners plus one more because they're one free at the Loves. If not, I will have to rent a dirt lot. That's not a big issue, I feel like. Hopefully the manager says it's okay because it's my occupation. Park away from people, plus it shouldn't matter to them. Well, I mean, we have an image to keep up. There are probably lots there. You should look around, especially in that area, of paid parking that's like paved with a fence, that kind of thing. There are probably lots like that. And by the way, you should actually ask the company if they have any customers in the area where they drop trailers. They may find a place where you can drop the truck in the area there for free. So there's also that. See what they've got in the area. Scott Reinvented. Hey, Mark, I'm looking for suggestions for a long-haul over-the-road company that goes from New York, Jersey to California. Wow, and back. Yeah, I would have said Quest. I don't think they go to New York. I don't know who goes coast to coast that way. Who's up in that area going coast to coast is the question. What does Gracie think about that? I'm not sure. She says, like, what? What is happening with that stuff? Yikes. What was this other one I had up here? Oh, right. What about these things? Pretty soon we won't have to go coast to coast because we'll have these things out there, right? We're going coast to coast. This will be taken over for us. 1,000 feet up, white Volvo, center lane broken down. Do you want a slalom course in New York? Exactly. That thing will take over those long runs soon enough. Let's see where that went off to. Glad I could see the live stream. Just Ed Diesel. Yeah, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Where did this other thing go over here? Because I wanted to see this. I lose all my spots here. Oh, okay, right. Okay, so the other thing about Martin, right? When they have these record results, but yet the ATA, which they're a member of, came out this week. This was a big article in Landline, which I'll probably do a video about, and talked about the bill that would allow drivers to get paid minimum wage and overtime. Okay, well, the ATA is against that. And I thought, here's Martin, among many others, posting record results, which is great for the companies. And then the ATA is griping that if anybody got paid anything, every company would have to raise its rates, and because they couldn't pay people. When they have record results, they can pay you to sit there. They said, look, they're going to have to raise rates if we actually have to pay people, which I really love. I really love that. Apparently, Quest will be KLLM's expedited division. See, I don't know if drivers at Quest, unless it's long, I wouldn't want to do it. The idea of Quest, they had these 1,800, 2,000 plus mile runs all the time at Quest for teams. That was the great thing about it. When you were a dedicated team, you went to a company like Quest that is dedicated to teams. That's the freight they got. I'm not going to want to do this 200-mile thing. Who shows more slides of life, Gracie or Joe Biden? That's true. Who's awake more often? Skynet Trucking, coming to a dock near you. James, I only worked there 2 months because they didn't live up to their end of our employment agreement. Right, I agree. When you get all this stuff up front, the company should honor what it says, and so should you. So should you, both sides of it. Drop it at TJ Maxx. Oh, Maxinista in North Vegas, and I'm going to summer in 30 miles from Sumner. All right, Summerlin. I don't think dirt lot should be that expensive. Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be, but I'm just saying that maybe they have a place in town, as they do a lot of business, where they could let you park a truck and it wouldn't cost anything, and it'd be on them. You say, okay, I'm going to park it where you told me to park it. I like that better. How soon will those take over? Oh, any amount of them where there's like a large amount of them, 20 years at least, when you actually start seeing them pull freight, especially north of maybe I-30 or even 20, maybe north of I-20. You're not going to see them for 2 decades. You'll run them some like Jacksonville to Houston, that kind of thing, but not beyond that. TJ Maxx in Vegas is huge. Apparently there are only a few DCs in the nation. Yeah, who goes to TJ Maxx? Everybody orders online, I guess. So maybe you can park there. Just add diesel. I'm just trying to save you some money so we can put it into your Jaguar. SJ is coast to coast, but it's hazmat waste. It should pay good though. Hazmat waste. Have you ever driven to someone with a super sleeper? I have not. I've only seen them at truck shows. I wouldn't want to have one as a regular thing unless you were at a dedicated customer, because you'll see them parked at the truck stop. They're 10 feet longer than the other trucks, so I'm always afraid somebody's going to hit me, and nobody's going to be able to back in next to you. It's hard to maneuver it. I think for some things it's great, but I've never driven one. Check out ERB, another cool move. All right. Martin advertises 85, but how much do they have to run you to make that? That's the question you need to ask a recruiter. Don't let them abuse you. We all have families, a kids, or a life. What if we don't have families, a kids, or a life? What if we got nothing going on? Got nothing? You'll take 60 grand. I'll take it. Give your local lollies a drink of water. That asphalt is hot. Yeah, in high heels. Yeah, and they poke in. That's why they got to keep moving around. Because right now, if they stand they sink in. They sink in. I agree 100%. I held up my end. No late deliveries. Yeah, you do your part. They should do their part. That's why I was asking about the bonus that they pay, which I see them advertise $1,000 a month for a year. Then it ought to come $1,000 a month for a year. It shouldn't be forgotten or anything like that. And if they do it, then what happens is they get drivers. They shouldn't even really need recruiters. They get all their drivers as recruiters saying, yeah, they exactly did exactly what they said they would do. That's all we can ever ask of a company. And I don't know why it's so hard to find places like that. When people are like, oh, they did everything they said they'd do, we're all like, wow, what kind of company is that? It shouldn't be like that. They've created their own huge problem. They'll lie to you up and down to get you in there, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Everybody came out this week, by the way, for 60-mile-an-hour speed limiters on trucks. Crash, Pat, Matt, Midge, all these different groups, acronym groups, all want trucks limited to 60. What would you think if yours, and they want all the way down to class 3. trucks limited to 60 miles an hour, commercial vehicles. 60. What do you think about that nationwide? So across Texas, El Paso to Houston is like a 4-day drive at 60 miles an hour, and it has to be electronically limited. And if your truck would not be allowed to be electronic because it's old, they want the trucks off the road. So there you go. How about going 60 everywhere? I'm surprised that anybody goes along with it. I know a dude with Crete doing 3,000 miles a week to make $1,500. That's 50 cents. That's pretty good. Public school. That's a lot of driving, a minimum 3 weeks out. Oh, forget that, right? That's a long time. You should be making more than $1,500 a week if you're going to be out 3 weeks. To be out long term like that, you got to be rolling some cash in. You know, there'd be no point in getting an apartment if you're out for 3 weeks. And then home, 3 days? Some of them, 2 days a week? So 6 days maybe. But then your next week's check is garbage if you actually got 2 days off per week and they went home for 6 days. That wouldn't be any good. They hired me under 10,000 bonus. Told them to take that bonus and shove it. Take that. That was a song too, I think, when they talked about bonuses. Yeah, that's the thing. So what, the bonus? They just do that to lure you at some places, and some places don't. All companies should do is, here's what we do, and then do it. That doesn't have to be a hard thing. PGT came out with a thing this week. They put out a big article about fleet managers and drivers, how they should have relationships. Not like intimate, although it didn't suggest that couldn't be possible. But they should get to know each other and, know their likes and dislikes. Like, I like long walks on the beach and romantic movies, Nicholas Sparks movies, and stuff like that. And they should have weekly face-to-face meetings. Now, I don't know, maybe I'm just different, but I would not enjoy a weekly face-to-face meeting with anybody in the office. Okay, and I personally don't care what their likes and dislikes are, unless, their dislikes are giving miles to drivers. I thought this was too touchy-feely, at least for me, because companies like you to buy into the idea like you're a family and we all care about you and all that. Look, if you did something wrong, do you think they'd care about you, or they would just fire you? Or would they have a face-to-face meeting with you? That's the thing about it. So I'm not into all that. I'm making an 1,800 average with Schaefer. Weekends up because no one wants to run Chicago Regional 1. Exactly. Do something. I've said that. Do something other people don't want to do. They're incapable of doing. They don't have the ability, or endorsements or experience to do, or something people don't want to do. And then you'll make more money. 1,800 a week is, 90 grand. Run 55 in my RV, even to 75 zone. But you could go faster if you wanted to. Like if you needed to pass somebody or something, you could. Right? You're not limited, is what I'm saying. When you limit the truck, you electronically limit it. Drivers, there's no options. You can't speed up. You can't get around things, whatever. It's limited. I mean, like I don't go 120 in the car, but it could go 120. It couldn't go 123 according to Motortron. So it's not limited by the government. CFI has huge ELD problems. Why? What is their problem with their ELDs? Are they using PeopleNet? I get the most complaints from PeopleNet. Why do a lot of our companies do the stupid 34-hour reset? Why can't companies just let you be off 2 days at home? When they did this 34-hour thing become a thing, that's big enough rest. I agree. And if you're going to be out, though, see, that's the thing. If you're going to be out, you need to really make some money. Every day you're out, you should be making money. If they have you out every weekend just sitting, what's the point of that? You might as well go home every weekend. I mean, what the heck? Then of course, unless you're going to live in the truck, then that's one thing, I guess. If you have no apartment, imagine this the other side of it. You have no apartment, no car, just a cell phone, and you live in the truck. Then how much money would you save? Thousands of dollars a month. No utilities. That saves a lot of money too. The 10,000 bonus will cause constipation. Yeah, they use small bills. Gas here is $4.73. Oh, $4.19 here for gas. That's disappointing. $4.19 today. Diesel is $5.43 average. Most dispatchers could care less about what driver wants or needs. Kim, exactly. What the driver wants is to make some money, presumably, and then get home on time. That's all they need to know about me, though. I don't think they really need to know. What else do they need to know about stuff? Nothing. That's what. I don't care about their family or if they take long walks on the beach or went to Great America last weekend. And that's what they're talking about. Get to know the driver and about their family and stuff. No. Just work me, and then I go home. You can always take your dispatch to a love shower and get to know each other well, right? Maybe show your dispatcher how a shower works. One thing I never understood is way trucking, because they bend over backwards to hire a new hire, but never bend over backwards to make you stay, Mark. Exactly. Oh, exactly. They do that here. We have a sign-on bonus now. Do I get a sign-on bonus? No. Okay. So depending on what people do and what they're running, some new people make more than me. That's pretty awesome, isn't it? And I told them, I go, why are new people making more than me? I have 20 years here. Oh, they go, well, oh, we really appreciate you being here. I go, you didn't even mention it, which they didn't. Nobody mentioned it at all at work or anything. I go, you can't even bother sending an email about it. And so you go about all this effort to get new people, but not to keep the people that you have. Companies do this everywhere. I'd rather be dispatched by a computer than a driver manager. Variant is for you. They do computerized dispatching. And the drivers get more miles. All the trucks are utilized better. I agree. The driver manager, there's too many variables in there. So maybe he doesn't like you. Maybe he's had a bad day. Maybe he's fought with his spouse at home or whatever has happened. He's got all these other things on his mind and you got a problem. So I agree. A computer eliminates all that. And I agree. Any company that says they're like family just means they want to molest you. Yeah, it depends on what kind of family. Or burn you with cigarettes and beat you with electric cords. Not that I'm saying anything. Chicago, be careful during the wintertime. Black ice is no joke. I couldn't do it anymore. Too dangerous. Personally, I think that's why I stay in Nevada, Utah, Idaho, and Oregon. Yeah, it's good because Utah and, Idaho known for their mild, warm winters. They always, that's where people go in the wintertime. They have summer homes in, Florida, and then winter they head to Idaho. The minute my truck is sold to 65 will be the day I clean out the truck and go home. James, yeah, I think you're going to lose a lot of people if you mandate all commercial vehicles at 60. Oh my gosh, I'm like, are they even thinking about anything? Companies will do it because they have to, but nobody's going to like doing it at all. Owner-operators, they're not going to tolerate that very much. And people, no matter how they bought their truck, I don't think that's going to go over good. Just add diesel in Michigan at 65 for trucks and the four-wheelers that are the real problem, of course. The only way to go along with 60 is to limit everybody to 60. Then I can understand it. You're saying, okay, it's safe. Everybody has to slow down. But to say just trucks, no way. Jeff Hudson, hey, Mark, hey, what's going on? Wow, I'm in California, diesel $7 and going up. Isn't that great? I'm glad you don't have to put your card in there to buy it. That's always fun, filling up and not caring what the price is. You're stuck in Lawton, Oklahoma. What's happening? Are you broke down or waiting for a load? If you wear it, make it a parrot. Always keep something. Where's my bell? That's better. Keep something on your head every day. In the winter, you can keep one ear warm with your blue parrot as well. I don't know if people know that. You can keep a single ear warm. Now, this is a double one, but I wasn't driving in this picture. So, if you notice, so it's okay. Only wear the one ear one normally. George Wilson, LTL versus truckload, training new drivers, big box truckload companies or big known less than truckload carriers, both taking newbies. Which way would you go? Depends what I wanted to do. Do I want to go over the road? Most LTL home every day. So it depends. What do you want to do? Do you want to be gone or do you want to be home? You don't have to be gone anymore like it used to be. So depending what you want to do. How about a driver retention bonus? I see that at some places, but it's very rare. It's rare. Although I do see jackets and stuff, which I complained to him about too. I give him a little grief about it. I'm like, I see people wearing jackets and Schneider's got 400 patches, ring, something, something, a name on the truck, something. I go, you guys don't do anything. I go, how many people you got here 20 years? Not hardly any. I go, right. Why do you think that is? And they're thinking, yeah, we're going to have one less than a minute when we fire this guy. That's probably what they're thinking. So, John, where do you work? Well, the good thing about that is for new people, I never mention where I work. I try to keep them out of the videos, It's bad enough that they don't mention me, so I don't mention them. And also, that way they don't have a say in what I say on the videos. And I think that works out better. Some people recruit for their company, but I'm not doing that. So maybe time in the future to go on OnlyFans. Those females are making more money showing off their body than putting up with our risk. Here's the thing. I saw an article about this, and look, I just don't understand it. They talked to this woman. I might have mentioned this on the podcast before. Okay, she made over $100,000 last year. I think it was more than that, 200,000. It was a lot. It was way into the six figures. And you know what she shows people? And I'll tell you this. It's not what you think. She sends and shows pictures of her hairy underarms. So, yeah, even the bell didn't ring for that. And she's making 6 digits doing that. And I just don't understand it. I'm like, this is where the country is now, really? And it's, I'm sure, 99% men paying for this. Who pays for that? And I didn't even know what to say. I'm like, that's it. That's the end of the country. I got to go drive through the winter here. And here's a woman that takes pictures of her underarms making, all this money. Crazy. I suppose in America, it's a free country, as they say. It's just ridiculous. Jeff, FedEx Ground has gone up to an app that gives you an exact location of the trailers and you can dispatch yourself. That's good. I would love that. If I could look on something, so I didn't have to put it on my phone. If I could look on some device and it shows me where the trailer is, oh my God, that was the bane of my existence. Oh, go over, go to this Walmart distribution center and we got a trailer there. You go in there and they go, I don't know where it is. You're driving around. Well, I've driven around. I don't know how many hours I've driven around looking for trailers. And I'm like, why don't you guys know where trailers are? Oh, well, we thought it was in there. Somebody must have taken it. Young says, my truck only goes 66 with U.S. Express, but I'm getting 75 cents. I hate it, but it's a sacrifice. 66, 68 would be common, right, for a carrier to put on their truck. But imagine going 60 out west there. Everyone passes you, man. Well, 66, you'd pass me, so you'd be mad. The 1099 guys making 60 cents a mile thinking it's good, or super truckers not knowing you're happy at 75 cents, smiling and waving bye-bye. Exactly. You're making money, so let them do their thing. And I guess you won't get any tickets in Nevada going 66. What, the 2 lanes are 70, right, or something like that? B-Man, I saw a Blue Parrot 450 XT for $115. Ooh, I have a 350. Wow. There's one that's waterproof. I'd probably go with that one, which I think is the 450. Now, and I try to save a points for it if you could. At one of these places. So if you fuel at one place, use the points. I don't know. Some people have the 550, but I think that's overkill at like $200. Broke down sister regen, but won't allow manual regen. New trucks are great. Oh, great. So somebody's have to come in and plug it in and make it regenerate. Yeah. So regen, you hit the button, it won't regen. So then the shop has to come out. Awesome. 1099 guys aren't making 60 cents per mile. Some are. I've seen ads. I've seen ads in the 50s for 1099 drivers. So 58. Still water, run deep. Hey, Mark, I'm over here taking a dump in my truck up a water bottle because of fancy toilet papers for the plebes. Yeah. So you saw that too. Yeah. And they want to get more people in trucking. It was unbelievable. Yeah. Toilet paper. Who needs toilet paper when you got a water bottle? Like, what the heck? Are you kidding me? Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I've seen 60 and 1099, not a great deal. When you can get in the 70s and benefits, rates are higher for hairy armpits than dry loads. One, apparently so. Apparently so. I just couldn't believe it. And this is like a legit news story. I'm like, oh my God. And I couldn't look it up because I'm afraid of what ads I'd get. But oh my gosh. Really? We're going to get 6 figures for that? Just taking pictures? I thought I'm going to start doing that. There are places on the road that we can exceed 65 and places where we can't. We're paid to know the difference. Yes. So let the truck go and then you can determine how fast you go. She's home every day. That's true. Local job. Sweaty armpit smell the best. It didn't have smell-o-vision. I wonder if they send a smell card with it. Oh, that's pretty interesting. If you get a ticket for speeding, then you should pay the consequences. I totally agree. Anybody that's out speeding and you get a ticket, boom. You pay it and go on your way. You just learn $100, whatever it is. I mean, it takes a few of them to get fired. So the average person has an interaction with the police every 7 years. So I wouldn't sweat it too much. Fight it anyway. 70 and Utah's 80. Oregon 65, right? And Idaho 70. But you probably have a pretty new truck there too. Why don't they have real-time traffic updates on your GPS company's tablets in the truck? Donkey bite. Because companies are cheap. I'd rather use Google Maps for the traffic updates, at least because it measures all the speeds of the phones. That's pretty accurate. 1099 guys are getting 70. Then, okay, 1099 and still can't reject loads. Yeah, I have to do what they say, drive their truck. They tell me where to fuel. I can't reject loads, but I get 70 cents a mile. All right. Mechanic is on the way. Good thing I have a base salary and breakdown pay. So it doesn't matter, but, this kind of thing is stupid. You could run except for technology because the truck, because it just has a button, it won't do anything. All they're going to do is plug it in, right? I'm sure you've seen that, and they'll tell the computer they'll do a forced regen on it, and it should run. Mormons can drive fast they want because no coffee. They can't stay up at night, so they sleep. I highly doubt 1099 guys are making 90 cents or $1. Oh, yeah, I'll see that. I've seen some at $1, and then you call them, and they're like, the first 250 miles you don't pay you for. I'm like, what? Or empty miles don't pay anything, which I've seen that. I'm like, oh, so it's not really $1. How about all miles? Well, we don't have that many empty miles or whatever. Yeah. There's always some kind of catch. When you see something closing in on $1, 90 cents, there's usually some kind of catch on it. And the other catch, of course, is you don't get any benefits. All you're doing is not paying taxes, presumably on it, not having them taken out. I'm sure you pay them. But you don't get any of the other benefits of being a regular company. I mean, come on. Even the cat knows better than that. The cat is 1099 also. Independent. If anybody's independent, it's the cat. The Taft-Hartley Act is what Joe Biden enacted. He worked with President Taft on that, by the way. People don't realize that. A lot of 1099s are paid a set amount per load or salary. Paying mileage is dumb. It depends. I never liked mileage. I think it's ridiculous. I would like people to get hourly so that your time is paid. People forget what their time costs them. Salary, it depends how much you work for the salary, right? So it depends on how many hours you work, because then that determines how much your hourly rate is. So there's 168 hours in 7 days. What's the salary? If you're 1099, I dare any guys to demand more by the mile to the company and see what they tell you. We can't pay that. Well, you're independent. You should turn it down then, right? B-man. Paying to see a woman's hairy armpits. True story. Your wife is sitting on a gold mine. Post some pics of her armpits would technically make me a pimp. Yes, I mean, it's where the country's gone to. It's just crazy. The bottom of the pit that we've gone to in the country, where people are paying for that. And yet there are kids and people, veterans, everybody homeless on the streets, and people will get money for that. So, I mean, it's a problem. It's a real problem. It's why I want to get to Mars as soon as I can. There are no homeless people on Mars yet that we know of. If 1099 guys are making 100 running like crazy coast to coast, imagine what they could make after net. Yeah, they got to tax it and all that stuff. I'm not a fan of 1099. I'm just not. And the only time I get a letter from people is when they get hurt and can't get all their medical bills paid. Then people are like, oh, Mark, now what do I do? I'm like, well, you pay all your medical bills. James not paid for empty miles and they can drive the truck for free. I'm not a slave. Oh, yeah, you see that. They put $1 a mile on there and then you call them and they're like, yeah, $1 per loaded mile. Oh, how much an empty mile? Nothing. You're not loaded. Oh, well, that's a problem. So your actual rate goes down. There's always some kind of catch. No companies, very few companies, it would seem, can be honest in their ads. Or they just put great compensation, apply now. Well, I'm not going to apply for a place. I don't even know what it pays. I don't know anything about it. Some don't even have a phone number. Are pimps 1099? Yeah. You could put that down on your form at the bottom there. Pimp. They would be independent contractors, presumably. You can deduct velvet hats. Lot lizards are 1099. They probably have to report that. Absolutely. I get paid mileage, stops, and weight on the truck. So I get all different ways to get paid. Weight on the truck, miles plus stop. I just think mileage is probably not the best way to pay people, because if you're stuck in traffic or you're stuck, for whatever reason you're stuck, you're not getting any mileage pay, but yet you're still working. And so that's what I would like to see people get paid for their time that they're at work, like a teenager at a fast food restaurant. And if companies did that, they'd have a lot more incentive to get you moving as well. Now you just sit there for nothing at a place. A lot of places won't pay you anything, and you're just stuck. Me either. No, thank you. I love how 1099 guys in truck driving are much different than the other trades. Yeah, you don't see too many 1099 plumbers coming to your house, do you? Steel Horse, hey, what you stopping by? Wish you a great day and week from Sanibel Island in Florida. Oh, right. Trucking makes that money if you pick the right company. Best wishes. All right, well, thanks for being here and enjoy that. Wow. I'll have to look that up later. Where is that? Let's get that card up here. Yeah, let's talk about DOT. You can make money if you choose the right place, to get started at. And I do think you can make money at most places. Some are just a lost cause, like Western Express. But I do think, some places, if you get into the right thing, you can make money at a lot of places. Trucking 1099 is all not being taxed, but listening to your dispatchers. Isn't that great? No taxes, but you're still an employee, but you're not. And you have no insurance. And resume pimp is manager. Always put down the executive management position. Love how IC guys don't have freedom, can't reject loads, are not paid for weather and breakdowns. A lot of places are starting that weather. Martin, I saw it do it a while ago. Now I see that a lot of places. You're getting something if you're stopped because of weather, which is nice. But all this just makes your pay more complicated. So you have mileage plus stops plus weather plus breakdowns plus maybe they throw a layover and, a drop and hook and all. How about this? How about hourly? Boom, paid. And then all those things are just paid. It's all just all rolled right in. So you don't have to think, oh, what does this pay? I get $8 for this. This pays $2.50. I get 50 cents for doing this. I turned on my headlights. That's a penny. I'd rather just pay people hourly, and then you don't have to worry about anything all day. You're just getting paid. You're stuck in traffic, paid. Breakdown, paid. Driving, paid. People always used to paint for dirty pics. You just never wanted your daughter recent college to do it. Pay. Yeah, that's correct. You wanted to pay people, but not anybody you know. It's no good for anybody. But this kind of thing is even weirder. Ron, my company's making us pay for our DOT physicals. I think it's time to start looking elsewhere. How much is that now? 70? They're about 70 here. Because they had some kind of issue. I don't know what it is. With the place that does the physicals, you had to pay your physical, and then they paid you back. They wouldn't pay the place directly, which I didn't understand. Because I've been going there for years for physicals. Always just had them send a form over, and I didn't have to do anything. This year, they're like, no, you got to go do it yourself, and we'll pay. Just bring the receipt, and we'll pay you. So it was 71. I think it was $71.50 here for a physical in the spring. And they did. They paid it on the next check. So they're like, well, we're trying to work out a deal. Probably didn't pay him or something. Who knows? Doesn't DOT have inward-facing cameras? They do. They do have cameras. I don't know that they're inward-facing. Yeah, because they would have got it on there. So right. So that's where they're only recommended. You'll have to consider the cameras. They don't get the mark of excellence because of the cameras. And I talked to him about it when I was there, right? Because there's a big video on there. I was there for a day, really. They had me over there for a day, did a big video for them. And they said, yeah, that's where the industry's going. And it is. And it's something to consider. You're free to reject loads at the manhole. Depends. You're never going to leave without a load. That's the sign over the door. Ran for FedEx years ago. They did have any say and was salary as 1099. Kim, really? FedEx did salary. They got in trouble in California for doing that, but not in the rest of the country. Companies pay like $100 a day for breakdown, being down for 20 hours or something. Why are these pay so terrible, below minimum wage? Some don't do that. Some of them I've seen it's $50 after 24 hours. So your first day is free. That's why I'm saying if you're paid hourly, you wouldn't have to worry about any of that all the time, because waiting for breakdown assistance, right, is legally logged. That's listed there. So that would all be paid time. That makes it a lot easier. But I've seen 100 a day is actually better than some places where it'll be $50 after 24 hours and they pay it per 24 hours after the first 24 hours. So you wait 3 days for some part and they give you $100. How awesome is that? I would demand to give me $500 for 20 hours. Oh, that's pretty good. That'd be very good. That'd be way more than I would sit there on the clock and get paid. DIY Semi, hey, good afternoon. Pimp is a horse salesman. That's very good. Super Trucker Dan on YouTube has a super sleeper and a flatbed pulling all aluminum trailer. All right. I mean, if he's got a shower and stuff in there, more power to him. I just wouldn't want it for the freight that I've pulled because I cannot imagine parking in a truck stop with that big nose sticking out there and somebody runs it over. 1099 is a friend with no benefits. Yes, that's correct. The ones that you need, like workman's comp or something like that, you don't have. What's the best way to be paid? I think just get paid hourly. It's easy on your check, too. I've gotten checks that have 400 lines on them before at some companies. They have all these different things they pay you for. How about hours? Pay. Simple. All your whole day's paid. While you're at work, you're getting paid. So if you're broke down, you're paid. When you drive, you're paid. If you have to wait somewhere, you're paid. You're just paid because people don't realize their time. They're thinking only money. You live so much time on the planet. Don't sell it cheap or free. So all the time that you're at work doing something that benefits work, and I figure it like this: would you be doing that if not for work? So would you be sitting at front of a gate waiting for a place to open if not for work? If not, then you should be getting paid for that because work is sending you there. You're not there on your own. We have a in-facing camera, but we don't normally overnight in the truck. Oh, that's even better. Well, I'd still say cover the camera at night at any company, no matter what it is. Well, if you are overnighting in it, which is an interesting way to put it, in the truck, cover it up at night. You don't know what they're watching. FedEx guys I know are W-2, wearing FedEx clothes, pulling doubles. Oh, they got in trouble for that in California. That's what they got in trouble for. One of the things that the drivers complained about was we have to wear uniforms and we're 1099. And they ruled against FedEx about it and said, no, you can't dispatch people, make them go where you want, make them wear uniforms and all that, and still make them 1099. So the uniforms were a thing out there, but that was one state only. ShipX got inward-facing cameras. I wanted to leave immediately, but can't quite get around it a year later. Well, what are they doing about them? Once you're there, it's a different story. If you're at a place that gets cameras, then you're already there, so you're like, all right, how are they going to treat me on this? Now, you should certainly leave before they fire you for a safety problem. But what do they do at ShipX with the camera? Do they bother you about it, or do they let you do your job? All chem in Lakewood, New Jersey is hourly, so is Clean Harbors. Just add diesel. That's the way to do it. There's a job right now, Ruan, in Indianapolis. It's on Craigslist, is running an ad. Over the road driver, $30 an hour plus overtime. Okay, so that's the way to get paid on the road. Then all your time is paid over the road. And I think it said batteries. So you need hazmat, but 30 plus overtime, so a couple of grand or more a week, all your time paid. You don't have, oh, I broke down, you're still going to get paid. What do you think, a daily pay for a local job? It would depend how many hours it is then, right? So let's say they paid $300. How many hours does it take to, do that? If it's 10 hours a day, 50 hours a week, I mean, is that good money? I don't know. It's $1,500, 50 hours. With overtime, you're in the high 20s, 27, 28,000 an hour. I always figured out by the hour plus overtime past 40 for any job like that. I indeed wore the awesome outfit. Sweet. Do you have pictures of it at home? I hate ShipX. Heard they only offer 65-year guarantee on salary as well. Well, they have a lot of programs to increase that. They can run you super hard since your salary. Well, no, depending on the miles that you get. I did a video about ShipX. You can increase that. It's a base salary, which you get even on your off time. Okay, and then as you get miles each month, it goes up. It can go up to 6 figures there. So, and another interesting thing, which probably not a reason to go there, after a year, they'll wrap your truck, from what I understand there. You can pick a charity or a different kind of thing, and they will wrap your truck. So it makes the truck really unique. Not a reason to go, but an interesting thing to do. The manhole, I did not appreciate the sign that says something in me says you're gay. Well, you kind of like, what's his face on The Office there. I'd recommend finding a new company because why are you making $65,000 salary? Just work at McDonald's managers. And they're home every day at McDonald's plus free food. But it's 65 plus. They have bonuses. And I still think it should pay hourly. Run as driver facing cameras. Yeah, probably. A large place. I would assume any place over, a couple hundred trucks, it's likely. They don't all do it, but a lot of them do. Midlife Trucker Tom Bell. Hey, if it's batteries only, you don't need a hazmat or placards. I thought it said something. I do know it said hazmat. So, and I thought it said batteries. Not sure. The ad's on Craigslist. That's why interstate battery trucks aren't hazmat. It's called a battery exemption. So batteries get an exemption? Are you positive? Yeah. Wrap your truck with an advertisement for the manhole. Oh, tell them, look, it's a nonprofit. They are only working for the good of the community. New batteries are exempt. Old batteries are not. What is old? 2 months? 3 months old. I mean, I kind of resist what you're saying. I'm just kind of resistant to it. I don't know how many more of these electrical jokes I have, really. Here's an interesting trivia question for everybody. So how many carriers are there in the United States? And a carrier is considered something with authority. So, for instance, Prime. Even though they have a lot of drivers, that's one carrier, because that's one authority. So all the way down from one driver to one truck who has authority to one carrier that has 1,000 trucks. That's one authority. How many actual carriers are there with authority in the United States? This was a number I just read. Carriers with authority. Have you heard of Super T out of Idaho? White trucks and white trailers. All right, Super T. They must not come out here. Cheeseman hauls a lot of batteries, but ours were mixed. Mixed batteries, D and C. Super T has the Indian Superman sticker on their trucks. Oh, I'm sure that'll be taken off pretty soon. Once they got to the syrup, I knew everything else was in trouble. Warehouses in my area, Kim, are making as much as truckers. My son just got out of school and is a welder, making more than me. Well, welders do pretty good. They'll hire them in mid-20s here at Wabash and weld all day long. And it goes up from there. So, yeah, welders do good, yeah. Hey, Mark, really appreciate the quality podcast. Great listening. Ryan, well, thank you very much. I appreciate everybody listening all around the world. Send me your clean used uniforms, medium shirt, and you can do what with them? I found the only spot with shade in this massive pocket lot. Boy, it looks good. What's a pocket lot? Oh, those are Giltner trucks. Okay. Oh, batteries are exempt. Shocking. Oh, my gosh. No more negative posts about that. A company closed. You have to hand in most times. I did. Oh, forget that. Tell them, look, they all ripped. What are they going to do about it? Used old batteries need to be placarded. Counting MC numbers again. No, I thought this was pretty interesting. How many actual carriers there are in the U.S. This is as of the end of last year. All the way, Swift is one. Okay, 16,000 trucks, that's one. All the way down to one person, one truck. Jim Bob Trucking with authority. And they have to have their own authority, not leased on somewhere. Your own authority. That is a carrier. Just add diesel. I haul hazardous waste. Does that pay good? It should. All the trouble you have to go through. I also thought that kind of stuff should haul. When I see a trailer that's got 10 placard spots where you can put 10 placards in it, I thought, oh, that's somebody that's making some money right there. Got to figure all those placards out. Those companies are only paying 45 to 48 cents a mile, and they want a year experience. Oh, 45 cents with a year? I don't think so. People right out of truck school get way more than that. Many of the carriers are dormant. Do you think so? I suppose it's possible. It doesn't list if they're dormant. So that put a real negative spin on everything. What a joke. I don't know why I even see trucks moving with a driver in them at this point. Why I even see trucks moving with a driver in them? Yeah, maybe. Pays great, but less filling. Let's see, 60 mile an hour trucks. Okay, the ATA, women in motion. Don't forget about them. The bill of lading tells you what placards. They're not always right, though. I've had probably a couple of loads over the years when I was hauling hazmat where they were not correct. The company has a special dedicated line. It goes to hazmat people at that point, at that carrier, and you called it and said, you read exactly what you had on your bills to them, and they explained what to use, and you could look it up in the book and everything. And I think a couple of times they were not right on what to use. And I'd always keep extra placards, so I had them. Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, Kentucky, Pennsylvania, West Virginia have a move over initiative this week. So they want you to move over if you see blinking lights or rotating lights. I love that they wrote that on a vehicle that is on the shoulder of the road. How about that? Rotating lights. Okay, I guess from Michigan where they have that gigantic light on top of the car. Don't worry, the self-driving trucks are moving in. Someday. We got a long ways to go before they get up here. National Hot Dog Day tomorrow. No poaching, right. And I-94 is going to close July 22nd. Don't forget about the poaching. I love that part. Because, let's see, where's the self-driving truck go off to? How do I not find anything? Okay. Right, like this. But we got decades before these actually get on the road. A long time before this thing gets on the road and does anything. Through the south, yeah, but look at all this complication. If one of these gulls, see, I said gulls, were to hit one of these, I mean, it could obstruct the view. Maybe not. The truck wouldn't be able to go. Plus, Look, if we can't even keep a truck running that needs to regen, what about when all this stuff stops working? That's going to be the bigger problem with that stuff. 58 cents a mile and $20 hourly for all miles and all detention paid. That's all right. So 58 cents plus 20. So now we're all set. And I've seen some places doing that kind of a hybrid kind of pay system. JB Hunt has tried some of that. I've seen where it's like 20. I've seen 20 cents a mile and $22 an hour or something in Indy for local work. I've seen them advertised. I don't know if they still do it though. And Bird Down Mark, ShipX does offer a bonus for mileage, but good luck getting it. You can't go home for any reason. Well, I mean, it's part of the deal there. You do get a salary, and then there's mileage at ShipX, and they'll wrap your truck. And you'll have to consider, is this for me? Is this kind of thing for me? Indiana is having patrol cars pulling over unmarked patrol cars to catch people not moving over. Oh, yeah, they should, right. They had a bunch of accidents, and so these states are getting together to have these move over laws go on. Is there American Lot Lizards Association? Yeah, I think it's part of the ATA. Mark, thank you for keeping us current with all these battery stories. My pleasure. What's your thoughts on the truckers having a DOT officer in his truck pulling over cars and trucks? Kim, I love it. A trooper in a truck. Some states are doing that. That's a great idea, right? And they should look down at cars and pull all these cars over. But if he's going the speed limit, right, and you pass him, aren't you speeding? I don't know why people are out there speeding. Part of it is mileage pay. If you got paid hourly plus overtime, would you speed everywhere? I don't know. Maybe you might slow down. And then it would be on the companies to dispatch you better. Now they can dispatch you tighter because they know drivers, for some reason, will speed. Nobody would do that anywhere else. What if McDonald's wanted you to cheat everybody? That one in there, hey, if you cheat people, you get to keep half of the difference or whatever. No way. It would increase your pay. The more people you cheated would increase your pay. Just like the more you were speeding, your pay would go up. But people would be like, well, I'm not doing that. Well, why are we breaking the law here? We should just get paid better so you don't have to break the law all the time on people. Pay in Russian rubles. We demand payment in rubles only. And then we'll fist bump people from the Middle East, but that's another story. What about this Oakland, these people in Oakland at the ports protesting AB5? Okay, so they basically closed a couple of ports yesterday. We're only letting 2 company trucks per hour in. I don't know how they decided that. And today they said they might protest some more. What do we think about that? Let's see. If you got a life, don't do it over the road. Young Siles. If you like the gym, eating healthy, sleeping in your own bed, hanging out with friends, don't do over the road. I'll never do over the road again in my life. It's not for everybody. You got to know what you want. Local work, home nights and weekends, paid by the hour. Why would you accept any other driving job? Certainly even road job should pay by the hour. But hourly plus overtime, that's the only way to go because then everything's on the company. When I come in and sign in and get paid, then everything else is on them. If they don't have anything for me to do, that's no problem. I just sit there and get paid. If I got to wait in line somewhere, I get paid. If I have to drive somewhere, I get paid. Everything is paid. So then it's one line on your check to pay. And actually 2 lines, OT pay. All right. Pay by the hour. No need to work hard. Just chill. Talk about rewarding sloths. I don't know. It rewards companies to do more work. So when I sit in line somewhere and I call them and they go, just sit there, what am I supposed to do? Why shouldn't I get paid for that time is my question, I guess. Why shouldn't that time pay? I'm doing something for the company. So they send me there. There's a line. I got to wait. That's their problem. That's not my problem. They made me come up to work, so I expect to get paid for all the time they're taking from me. That's what I'm saying. And what it rewards people that work more is I might stay longer, and so I get more money and do more work for them. I'm glad I did it for a bit, though, or else I'd never know. Absolutely, right? Get to see the whole country, and now you know. Now you know, right? Like the song goes. I'm close. I know I'm close to it. If you're paid by the compensation to which you agreed, do you have a complaint? Well, I agree with that. That's correct. If you go somewhere, now we got something. And they say this is how you're going to get paid, and you accept that pay, then that's what you accept. Agree. If you don't like it, you can leave. Everyone should look into Loves for Flying J tankers. There's a job for pilot tankers today. If it wasn't for us, U.S. Express, I'd be doing that. It pays $35 an hour in Vegas with double paid overtime. It's showing $30 in Indy, but it goes up quickly to $34 an hour. And like you said, with overtime plus double overtime, yes, I could see a driver there. And you get to go to the pilot all day and Flying J, I guess, which is good. And pays very good, and they're home every day. Yep, there's an ad. I think it's today or yesterday or today. At Swift, driver wraps the back of truck around objects, so they get their trucks wrapped too, and they might not even have to wait a year for it. Paid by the hour reward for just being there. That's correct. And, that's the thing of it. If a company says come here, and I come there, they got to pay me. I agree. So that's my time that they're taking. Be here at this time, and I'm there at that time. They got to start paying me, and I'll do whatever they want me to do. But I agree. Until they say you can go home, they need to pay me for the time that they're taking from me. Agree. Then when you're waiting, you have to clean the truck. After all, paid by the hour. Need to be working. No, I don't clean the truck. All right, the truck's pretty clean. I keep it, pretty clean. You could do that. You could if you wanted to. They don't say clean the truck while you're waiting. I mean, if they give you work to do, you could go do it. I agree with you. But yeah, reward for being there? Absolutely. Be here at 8. If I'm here at 8, I get paid. If you go, nothing to do right now. Okay. Let me know. Or let me go home. One of the two. As long as you're taking my time, you should pay for it. Agree. Home every day. Yes. There we go. That's beautiful. Plus good labor to stay fit. Well, exactly. Paid by the hour. Been there 25 years. So far happy. Yeah. And so if they take your time, they give you money. It's an even exchange. And I think just like when we agree to the compensation, they agree to it as well. They say, all right, we'll pay you for your time. Well, then they should have something for you to do. I think over the road is inhumane and it doesn't need to exist. Emperor down there. And that's why, I kind of like Too Simple, the CEO of that, said that, it's dehumanizing to people. It takes the humanity out of people because they're just living in a parking lot. That's what he said. It takes away people's humanity. And that's why he's working on autonomous trucks for the country to change that. I ran tanker. You couldn't pay me enough to run fuel. Apparently 30 or between 30 and 34 in India is enough to do it. I would wrap my truck in wieners. Oh, especially tomorrow. You could wrap it in free wieners. Tell people free wieners and just they can pick it off for there themselves. Plus, I'm sure you won't be family, but you'll be treated with respect and good benefits, a retirement plan, etc. Etc. 34-hour reset time pay. If you are doing something for work that you wouldn't otherwise do, I think you should be paid for it. That's what I think. If you were at McDonald's and 14, which you can work in the summer here in Indiana at 14 with a work permit, and I don't know if they actually need that this year, and there was a machine broke down and there's nothing to do, and they said, just wait here, we'll get this fixed, you'd have to be paid. Okay? So I don't see why a driver shouldn't at least be treated as well as a 14-year-old that was born this century. It's hard to believe. Cheeseman is the only company I've ever heard of that pays for a 34. They do pay, right, for a 34. And motel, too, right? Didn't you say they also give you a motel? So it's nice to get you out of the truck and pay you for it. SJ Transport pays for 34. I bet there are a lot of companies that we don't know of that pay this kind of stuff, that maybe smaller places or whatever. I've always managed to find companies that don't have to worry about paying detention because they don't detain drivers. That'd be the other side of it, right? There shouldn't be all this detention because they should just have you in and out of places. But the other side of detention is if you're paid hourly, you also wouldn't worry about it because they have a very big incentive to get you out of there because they have to pay you to sit around. How many carriers are there? The suspense is killing me. Well, the number of carriers in the United States, 996,894 as of the end of last year. That it goes from one person all the way to mega carriers, which are considered also one. Nearly 1 million carriers in the United States. Although, as we see here, and I didn't actually think about it, many of them are maybe dormant or not being used, but they are carriers. Forget 34. Ask for 48-hour resets like a normal job. 40-hour reset. They like you back out running. 34 is pathetic. Where's the 48-hour job like McDonald's workers? Well, you could get that depending on where you work, right? And that's the other thing about job requirements. You should ask all that up front. Right? And then if you agree to it, then you agree to it. Just like earlier, the driver that was going to be out 4 weeks, well, then if he agrees to it, then you're out 4 weeks. And if they say, all right, you get a 34-hour break and then you're ready to run again, you agree to that up front, then you should be ready to do what you've agreed to. Cheeseman gives you a motel and 100. Right, yeah, that's what I thought. You got a motel and some food money, or rent some of those movies, late-night movies there, for a 34-hour break. Cheeseman gives 2 home time days per week, and it's 48. We're talking about paid 34-hour resets. I think if you have to be out on the road, like they don't get you home, you should be paid. Certainly, you're there because of work, right? So work has left you out there, and so work should pay for your time. I was, and I'll get some emails, I'm sure, this week about that. Oh, Mark, this is ridiculous. Well, I mean, that's just work. They should pay you. They've taken your time out of your life. So why shouldn't that come with some kind of compensation? And I understand people say, well, you're not working. Well, that's their problem. They should have had me work or send me back to my house. They're keeping me out, so I should get paid. How many Armenian owned and operated? I don't know about that. It didn't break anything down other than this 996,894 for carriers in the United States, authorized, haulers in the U.S. And that's a lot. Considering, they put about 890 to 900,000 over-the-road drivers. So all these could be rock haulers, garbage companies that have authority, whatever it is, Does the job at the manhole pay hourly or by the size of the load? They have both. They have an incentive program there. Society has it all confused. We work 70 hours a week and only rest 34. I know, it's backwards. Who thought of this idea? When normal jobs work 40 hours and get 48 hours off. Well, but then I get letters from drivers that want to work more. Hey, Mark, why don't we eliminate logs so I can work even more? I'm like, why do you want to work 100 hours a week? Isn't 70 hours enough work for you for the week? Well, but I just want to make more money. Well, see, you should get paid more. Yeah, just backing up here. When you took the job, was hourly compensation part of the deal? Agree. It should be. And I think it should be. That drivers, these drivers are out here in AB5 are protesting in Oakland because they don't want to become employees. And then right there, some of them out there were saying, well, you know what? And then we need to fix this so we don't make any money. Well, which is it? You can't have this both ways. Why would you protest to continue to remain somebody that doesn't make any money? 70 hours is over 8 days, not a week. Well, a lot of people do squeeze it in and then have to take a 30-hour break. They try to squeeze that into 5 days, which I find, 14-hour days for 5 days. Pretty long week, I think. I think that's kind of tiring. Maybe not safe to drive after all that. And one guy said also, we can't get our needs met. And he was right on and said, because we all have different things that we want done here. Exactly. When you go out and protest, if you don't have a coherent message where you're all in on the same message, you're never going to get whatever you want. Yeah, you can block the ports for a couple of days or whatever, but that's not going to do you any good. What they should do is stop hauling into the ports. Don't even come there. No freight goes in and out of the place, and see what happens. But there's not enough owner-operators to do that out there because they had company trucks come and go all the time. If you take a reset, you can manage to get 80 hours in 8 days. Oh boy, that sounds even better. Yikes. 80 hours in it. That's several weeks of work for like a normal person. And even that's a long week. That's terrible. 70 hours is a lot. Let's ask a plumber or groundsman. Hey, groundsman, how much they have with overtime at 40-hour week? Oh, like someone hourly at 70 hours is making good money. If they're like the pilot. $30 an hour at 70 hours is $2,500 home every day. And that's even though it's a lot of hours. So that's $30 an hour. So that'd be $2,500 a week. That's not bad. It's a lot of hours. Not like truck drivers working their butt off for 70 hours with no overtime, only straight time paid by the mile. Yeah, or by the mile, which is even worse. At least on overtime, you'd get something, I guess. 70 is the maximum. You're not required to work 70. Yeah, correct. But most companies on the road will try to squeeze that into you, it seems like. They either both sides, if they let you sit around and get 1,100 miles, or they're like forever giving you loads right up to the last minute. Lumber can work 24/7. They don't have an ELD, but would they want to? See, when you get paid a good hourly rate, you don't have to. That's the other thing of it. So your rate can determine how many hours you actually put in. Drivers work so much, as I know, I've probably gotten 1,000 of these letters now over the years, because they're getting paid by the mile. So on one day, maybe they're stuck behind that big accident in Montana that just happened with that dust storm. And so that closes the road, and they might be stuck there for hours. They don't make any money if you're getting paid by the mile. You just sit there. Some companies might give you something for it. Most don't. And so then you have to make that up. And that's, of course, drivers log that illegally on the road there. I'm sure they go off duty or whatever, but it's just not great. What do I hate? Paid by the mile? It's getting paid for what you're doing. So is hourly. Hours getting paid for what I'm doing as well. And it puts the problem on the employer. They wanted me to come in, so they should pay me. I just don't think hourly is a good way to get paid. I've gotten paid hourly or mileage. I don't think it's a good way to get paid. I've gotten mileage, but there's too many things out of my control that could affect my check. And too many things that are within the company's control that they have no incentive to change unless they paid me, like detention and waiting around. Do commercial pods have an ELD? No, but they have a certain number of hours and stuff, and there's usually a pilot on here that they can fly so many hours of this and that. It's less than drivers. Heck no, they don't have to. Home every day. Well, it depends on where the pilot goes. He can hit the gym every day, I guess. He can be all buffed up with that body butter on there. Isn't it odd? A rookie like me can find a good paying job that keeps me moving without pushing me. It is good. I don't know if you're a rookie anymore. That's just year one. They have commercial bots have a logbook and a computer. All right. I know they have a limit on the number of hours that they can fly. Hourly pays me for being there. Yes. And just like any other job. I worked the last 2 Sundays at double time. Nice. My next check is going to be huge. That's nice. Maybe companies could do that. What about mileage and a half for weekends? That's an interesting way to do it. Or mileage and a half beyond a certain number of miles to encourage you to even work more. So that if you worked more, you'd make more. So maybe you get 60 cents, but then past 2,000 miles, you get mileage and a half, which would be 90 cents. Or weekends are mileage and a half. Even if you love what you do, you're still getting burned out eventually working 80 hours a week. Oh, yeah, that's crazy hours. You can't do that long at all. 70 hours a week is ridiculous. You're pretty great to work in, all your medical covered, but socialism is a gateway to communism. Yeah, other than that, we can get baguettes all day in Paris. We have that to go on. They do have an incentive to change, not keeping you working. If you don't get the miles, you'll quit. Well, that's true. It is harder to quit on the road. But, it is. Fly me to the moon, that would be, you can get miles up there, but there's more miles on Mars because it's bigger. Someone asked me, a pilot, how do I keep fit on the road? I said, look, man, eat healthy, stay fit, run after your shift push-ups, dumbbells in the truck, just work out. What, were you out there with no shirt on, all sweated up with the six-pack? Just laying in the sun like the flash dance at the beginning of the movie? Water splashed on you? He's like, hey, was that at the manhole, by the way? Did they say that? Free money, more. Sounds like socialism. I love it. Stopped on at Carl's Jr. and asked for a large. Always just get the mediums there, but get 2 mediums. Do the drivers who drive and move furniture like Allied make good money? I don't know. I only did it for 3 days. I worked at North American Van Lines for 3 days. 3 of the best days of my life. Friday, we came in early, moved people out of their house. I drove the truck like 20 miles. Moved them onto their house, and which was work all day. Strap everything down. All right, everybody's yelling at you. Then drive all night to St. Louis. The next morning, we're up early, a couple hours to sleep, moved everything in their house, then all day, and then drove back Saturday night to Chicago, back to the south side of Chicago. So side. And got back Sunday morning. And I'm like, forget this. I thought I was going to be a driver. He's like, well, you drivers do all the loading and stuff. I'm like, well, I don't think so. So got on my motorcycle, went home, and never went back. Never called him, never nothing. Because I was young then. Today I'd call him and quit, but then I didn't. It just never showed up again. Never heard from him either. They never called me. So I thought that was interesting. Didn't matter what it paid. Never got a check from him, didn't care. Kept the t-shirts. He gave me like 4 shirts, kept them. Wonder why they're working on autonomous trucks. Eventually they'll be cheaper than humans. Sure, because the truck can drive across the country. It doesn't need workman's comp. It doesn't get $100 on for a 34-hour break. It doesn't need a motel. It doesn't have to stop to pee or go to the bathroom behind itself with a water bottle. It doesn't do anything. It just drives. So it'll save them money. Sure, absolutely. Breaking news: explosions heard at Hoover Dam. Is that true? Is that a true story? No, I wear a Hanes white t-shirt, then shower once I'm done working out. Okay, I thought you were out there shirtless, covered in water in a chair with water being sprayed on you or whatever. And they're like, hey, man, what's going on over here? You doing some working out? It's your favorite Los Angeles zoo poop hauler checking in. Zoo poop is here. Look at hairy armpits. You get ads for deodorant. I was afraid to go see if it's a thing because I'm afraid of what ads I'll get. I don't know what kind of things I'm going to get back. And always when you go look at something weird like that, right after that is when you die. And the cops come and find your body. And what do? They go through your phone and they go, oh, God, what is this guy into? And then it's on the news or whatever. Local YouTube person dies and looking at armpit ads and stuff like that. So I don't want that. Because that one truck driver on TikTok died this week too. The TikTok trucker, right, died in a crash, and that made the news. So I assume that they looked through his phone. Who knows what he was looking at? So you also got to be careful about that. They will just kill people. Once they all get together, like the movie Trucks, if you've seen that movie. Also told them I played football and ran track in high school. If I told them that, they go, yeah, do you remember that? I was been an athletic person, so I don't let myself gain weight or start eating unhealthy. And on track, I did shot put in track. Maxwell Street has street lizards? The autonomous truck doesn't keep wanting to be paid by the hour. That's correct. It doesn't want to get paid at all. It just runs all day and all night with no end. And they'll just have somebody fuel it for $10 an hour or whatever. It doesn't need health insurance. It doesn't get a vacation. It doesn't complain. It needs any kind of off time. It doesn't do any of the things that all drivers have problems with. It doesn't have a family. It doesn't argue with its wife. It doesn't do any of that stuff. It won't have road rage. It won't speed. It won't need to idle. There's a lot of benefits to it. I'm for it, and there's a lot of benefits to it. First, people gone over the road drivers. Because this truck can easily take that on without anything, teams and solos. Because if it's not doing a load, it's just turned off sitting there, not wasting any money. It'll be a long time before it does, intricate local stuff. They've even suggested that could be 35 years away. I hope people realize eating unhealthy fast food and living in a truck is pretty depressing. Food plays a role. Lose the beer belly. Hopefully no beer in the truck. Maybe beer fries. 6'3", 185. Oh, sweet. Pretty skinny. My only problem is beer. Yeah, cut that out. No more Schlitz. Go to Schlitz Light. Yeah, right. That guy, pissed off trucker, died. Right. They called him the TikTok trucker in the article. TikTok trucker. It was in an accident in Kansas, right? 50-something years old. Yeah, terrible. But I'm sure they went through his phone, and hopefully he wasn't looking at that. He might have just read that article, and then they're like, oh, here's the problem. With autonomous trucks, there'd no longer be a need for inside-facing cameras. Oh, they'll probably still have that. They'll still want to know what the truck is doing. I'm sure. Somehow they'll figure that out. Truckers should get hazard pay. Sometimes they should. You don't think they can automate fueling? They already have autonomous yard dogs that can connect air. Yeah, they probably could. But they will need, until they change the rules, the FMCSA rules, which could come, they'll still need somebody to do a pre-trip of the truck and guarantee that there's nothing wrong with it. I don't know how the truck checks all these things itself. I suppose it could. A lot of cars can check all the different fluid levels. So they may work that out. But for now, I think they can have somebody fuel the truck. Probably I think the first person that will do it will be the local driver, because they're going to drop this off at a yard and the local driver is going to take it the rest of the way to deliver it. That's how they already said they're going to do it. And the local driver will bring loads back to this yard that get hooked up to the autonomous truck. They'll hook it up and send the truck on its way. That driver can take that truck and fuel it at the moment. And then once the local driver is eliminated many years in the future, maybe they'll figure out a way for it to do itself, or they'll just have somebody come in and check them once in a while. Welcome to the bud hole. Yeah, no beer in the truck. No, please no. Even Schlitz. You support AB5. Stop the misclassification of workers. Yeah, let's classify people the way they're supposed to be. You must be a new driver and life is perfect. But your truck will give you 10 or 20 years. Look, you got to have a positive attitude or nothing positive happens. I think he's got a great job and a good life going there. Don't railroads do all that once upon a time? Well, somebody still checks the train out, I assume, before it takes off, right? Doesn't somebody walk up and down and, make sure it's full of coal and that there's plenty of water and all? It's all going to be, somebody's got to do all that stuff. Why are you eating fast food? I weighed 296 when I passed my first trucking physical. Ugh. In October 2019. Now you're 220. Coming down. We got a guy in his fours, so in the mid fours. I'm not trucking my whole life. I'm building equity to get into real estate. I recommend the Dave Delgado cash flow system. Cannabis dispensary and a local family restaurant, all in one. You could have the dispensary at the end of the restaurant by the pie displays. I'll come and see it when I go to the M&M museum. It takes nothing to change a rule. The FMCSA just made an exemption. No need to even bother. It's all executive. Well, this kind of thing, I agree with that, but the safety groups like PAT and MAD and MIDGE and all these other ones are going to come out. There's going to have to be a way proven that the truck can check itself to make sure that everything is legitimate on it. There'll have to be sensors put on it rather than just changing it, because they're already on the 60 mile an hour thing. They'll come out of the woodwork for that. So I think for a while, it'll be the local driver that brings the loads back and forth to the road truck initially. Then maybe later we can get to that point. We're glad and so happy. Why do they steal them in Laredo? Can't wait for the TikTok videos of groups of youth storming at autonomous trucks or robbing it. Oh, like trains. Yeah. I'm surprised they don't do more of that now. But he's still driving trucks, and this industry is bad. The industry's okay. I mean, look, if you're at the right place, you can make great money and you can either be home or be gone, have the life you want, see the country. And it's really a job for your whole life still, I think. And it pays great, probably, relative to what education most people, although there are some college educated people and stuff in driving, but most drivers with a high school diploma probably couldn't make this kind of money otherwise. The truck stops can have employees fueling autonomous trucks all day. Heck, you can't even get them to do anything in the store. Do you think Marge at 3 in the morning, who's behind the register and is 90 years old, is going to come out and check the truck and fuel it? No way. Well, look, you got caught live today. Good to see you, Mark. I haven't had a chance to see you live in a while. Gina, well, thank you for being here. Happiness is a well-greased train. Just make sure it's full of water and coal and you're set. I have a good attitude and happy with what I do. I'm blessed. I think you did great. In 2 years, you did 5 times your pay. Definitely won't be trucking for 20 years. And the way trucking is, I'm going to be a lineman, a groundman if I need to be. Will you be a lineman for the county? That's what I'm wondering. Think about it. Your late model car knows when a bulb is out. It does. It does say that. And it gives you warnings. And Rolls-Royce has actually had this for a year. You just press a button and it gives you your oil level. So, but like brakes, that kind of stuff. Is it going to be able to check brake thicknesses and stuff like that? Maybe. Tire tread. How's it going to do that to make sure all that is good? It can check the pressure, but not the tread. I do think it's going to take a little bit of work to get that done. I think that eventually the tires probably will have a sensor in them. The tire itself will be built with some kind of sensor, and then we can fire that person too. But then we got this problem of getting the delivery to the warehouse. So that, getting through town and stuff, that's going to be a while. There'll be local drivers doing that people just starting to drive now will still have jobs doing that for sure. Because look, this truck can only run, if it starts raining now, the sensor in the truck goes out. Right? Oh, it's raining. There's clouds in the area. The stuff goes bad. If the truck doesn't have a connection to the internet, it doesn't even know where it's going. So that is a real problem. The 2-minute warning. What do you think? Don't these AB5 drivers, though, if they're going to do anything at these ports, they need to get their message together, or they're not going to get anywhere. In a couple of days, they're going to fizzle out, and I'll go back to work, and that'll be the end of it. The one driver had it right. Oh, well, we know we all have different things we want. Well, you need to get your message together. I can get with an electric company and an LV. Those job companies will start you at 40 an hour minimum and work up with overtime. Well, that'd be pretty good money out there. Because of the weather. I hate being fired. It's not bad. Everybody gets fired. Don't worry about it. Tell them you can't fire me. I quit already. That's always the last word. The new digital mirrors are awesome. I wish I had them. I haven't even seen them in person. Audi has those in Europe too, and some other car makers use them in Europe already on their cars. I think it'll be a great thing. We'll see. As long as they don't go out, they go out, you got a problem. I mean, there should be a secondary mirror maybe you can fold out. I'm not sure. That's scary. Self-driving trucks, they're coming. They're coming. You should never hate even being fired. Hey, it's not the worst thing. Forget jobs. They have redundant sensors and computers and connections. If they fall below requirements, they park. There was one, and it was a Crete truck, I think, that had this stuff on it in a video recently put out to showing what would happen if a sensor went out. And the truck pulled itself over on the side of the road and presumably called somebody to come out and fix it, a person, although that'll eventually end where a robot will come out and fix it. Young Siles, I'm driving for a company with 75 cents a mile. That's pretty good. I guarantee there aren't many drivers in this position making 115, 4 days and 3 days off. I'm humble and blessed. You've done really good in the industry. There are many people, I'll get a letter that sit 3 days at a truck stop in the middle of no place, even though they're supposed to be home. And W-2, so you get benefits, vacation, health care. All the Facebook drivers complain about the digital mirrors. Maverick has them on their new Freightliners. Oh, yeah. Well, look, they complain. No, it's always older drivers, and I guess they start lumping me in that pretty soon here once I get into my extreme lower 40s, which I guess will be probably pretty soon. But we get that every time there's an advance in trucking. People complain about it. Oh, power steering. Oh, my gosh. The electric wipers. What's going on? Conventional trucks and then automatics, automated manuals. And now ELDs, so each thing that comes up, it's always a thing with drivers. They never want the newest technology, but none of them are coming in an old Packard. They're not driving in a 50-year-old car. I'm like, well, you drive a new car. It's an automatic. You got all these sensors. Oh, well, yeah, it's my car. I'm like, well, what's the difference? Got an extra wiener over there? Always an extra wiener for you. Think about the digital mirrors removing that block spot on both sides. Yeah, and they can also dim. Like the mirrors in your car have for years, they're going to be able to dim the mirrors automatically. Hope the autonomous dispatch takes over sooner than autonomous trucks. No more favors to cover their friends. Giovanni, Variant is one of the first ones to do this. The dispatches are sent out by computer there. So, right, nobody, no favors, no nothing. Yeah, that's a great idea. Because if they don't like you, they make you sit or whatever. I agree. I went through 5 companies before I found U.S. Express. I've had it. I wasn't settling. That's always the thing. You start out. I went through, oh my gosh, I don't know how many places I worked at to start with. You just quit, find a good place, and then once you get a place, you stay there because and then you know the whole system, and it'll even get better the longer you're there. In a year, you went through 5 companies. Yeah, it's about right because a lot of them are horrible. Hey, Mark just stopped away in Central Illinois. Slim Shady. All right. Hopefully legal. You're blessed or lucky. You sought out the job and interviewed and managed to keep it. It's not luck. Luck meets, how they put that. Success is luck meeting hard work. Because I don't tolerate crap, if I'm lied to or start getting bologna, I tell them, where can I drop the keys off? I'm back on Indeed. Indeed for jobs. Can you apply on Indeed now? You went through 5 companies. You weren't asking enough questions. Well, some of them, you ask questions and they say something, and then it is not the correct thing. So we got to give some of that to the companies. Some of them you'll ask, oh, yeah, you're home weekends, and then you're out. You're out for 3 days. I've had people send me emails from, yes, home every weekend without fail, and then they're writing me on Saturday, Mark, haven't been home in the last 7 weekends. Some of them you can ask, and you just got to figure it out later. Those digital mirrors track the corner of the trailer if you wanted to do it when backing. Oh, that'd be nice. You can follow it around. You don't have to keep pressing that button, waiting and pressing the button, waiting and pressing the button. Ooh, and then dim for you. Next, they can put reverse lights on the trailer, and I'll be all set. You should actually get back in somewhere. That's been a long time coming, too. Let's put lights on the back of the trailer. You didn't ask the right people. Yeah, you can look up reviews and stuff of the place. Some of it is just trial and error. Probably in the first 3 years, I probably at least had 10 places I worked at, maybe more. I don't know. I just quit them, right? Out. Leave them, lose them, and leave them. No years driving, all my years. Which place and where was the best scenic view? I like the West. I just like the West. I don't know about scenic views, but West is better. Less people, more views. People look at me like I'm crazy. Like family or friends, but only truck drivers that went through 5 companies. Oh, that's trucking. That's trucking, but that's how it is now. You just believe what the recruiter says? Yes. They don't, because they're not allowed to lie. People know if they send you something on the internet, it has to be true. Al Gore told us that. Things on the internet are true. I think I've only quit 2 or 3 jobs. I've been fired from all the rest. I've never been filed for unemployment. Well, I recommend you get a job and quit just to get your numbers back up on that side. You were simply lied to. That does happen. You ask the questions, but Mark knows what I mean. They lie to your face and then take the keys back. Another percentage to their turnover rate. And it's like they don't even care. Hey, I need to be home on the weekends. Oh, you're absolutely home on the weekends here. And then it's Saturday, and where are you? 1,000 miles from your house, sitting at the back of some truck stop. And they go, well, we don't have anything out there. We tried, but we don't have anything. And they do that week after week. I'm like, oh, and then people quit. I'm like, well, how come people are quitting? Right now they can't do reverse lights because there are no extra wires in the pigtail, only the blue wire. But it's the auxiliary. Well, now what I'm thinking, here's what how I would like to see it, is the reverse lights are wired to the running lights. Okay, and then to a switch that's at the back of the trailer. and that switch, you switch it and they turn on. That's how I would like to see it. So you would have your parking lights on at least, or your headlights, or presumably bright lights in to back up, which is what I see all the time. Then you could just turn these lights on when you're going to open the doors, and then they come on. And because people would leave them on, maybe there's a sensor, a wheel speed sensor, which they could wire in. If your wheels move forward at, say, 15 miles an hour, they turn back off. So it'd be a momentary switch, so it wouldn't matter which way it's turned. It would just be a click on. That's how I would like to see it done. Like a beeper should have a snooze button. Somehow in my truck, those beepers always come disconnected. They've talked to me about that. They go, every time your truck comes in for service, this beeper's disconnected. I go, yeah, it must just be something on the road. I don't know how that happens. They go, well, we're connected. I go, yeah, you go ahead and do that. 70 hours a week is too many. I agree. There's no life. It's only 168 hours a week. It's almost half the week. They have a plug. Mine is disconnected. Yeah, that happens on my truck all the time. I don't understand it. I guess there's a lot of bumps. We try to get you home, but there isn't anything. Yeah, exactly. Sorry. I know you're 1,000 miles and we got you that close. They go, hey, there's FaceTime. The day they hit me, then they hit me with a, hold up, there might be a load. Give me an hour of unpaid time, of course. I'm on my way back, leave the truck and the keys. I will say that is the only way they learn. And then if you ever quit on a company, you should at least tell them why you're leaving so they can do better. If your recruiter lies and you don't find that out, that's on you. You need to do much more research than just asking the recruiter. But I still say the internet you're not allowed to lie in the internet. That's, I read that on the internet. Signed by Al Gore himself. Trucking companies shouldn't really be lying. I mean, really, let's be honest, you shouldn't have to go find out if they're lying. They just shouldn't lie about stuff. They should be honest. But then they're paid, rather than being paid hourly, which they wouldn't have any incentive to lie, they're paid on commission or per driver, so then they have every incentive to get you in. Where, again, I think hourly would solve the lying problem because whether you get in or not, they get paid. That's why, like Best Buy, they are not on commission at Best Buy. It wasn't you, it was them. Work 70 hours and get paid for 55 hours. Yeah, with no overtime. 55 hours of straight time. Do you live in Vegas? I used to live about 2 miles from the terminal. Now you live in Phoenix. All you nice weather people, of course. Autonomous trucks, boob, when I'm taking over, I cannot allow you to do this. Then you'd be gassed. Oh, they're coming. They're coming for everybody. They know when drivers quit, they don't care. Because they want new people because they can pay them less and they won't complain as much. When you've been driving for a while, you complain about more stuff. Younger people who may not have a long resume or whatever may feel like they can't say something about stuff, where somebody that's got some time in knows they can give them grief because there's other jobs easily available, although that's coming really for everybody. But I think new people, they're a lot easier to manipulate just because if it's your first or second job and you just started, where are you going to go? You think, well, I guess I got to do this. So I think that's part of it. The only company I can do better with, completely honest, would be Walmart. Because year by year I'm going up. Well, Walmart isn't great, though. I mean, you're doing as good as Walmart drivers or better. Not every Walmart driver makes 110 like they're saying. After 10 years, I can make 89 cents. That's Walmart pay. Wow. I didn't know it went up that high there. Is that only on dedicated accounts? I mean, maybe the variant part is rubbing off on them. This might be better than that, really. Because they only have a 2-tiered system over on their other side of their company. Although you don't get the computerized dispatch that they wonderfully get to go over at Variant, certainly. See, that's B right there. So if you wear it, you should make it a parrot. I need to move my bell. What is happening? Gracie keeps moving my bell. That's better. That's better. All right. How about this, right? Midlife trucker. Hey, why don't you call up over there and get yourself a truck, too? How about that? And make some money and go check out his channel. He puts the numbers on the glass. Yeah, see, I remember. And don't forget about Jay, right? I always talk about Jay. Jay helped me out early in the channel. Go check him out if you want to know about car hauling. I don't know anything about car hauling. I never hauled cars. Bought a lot of cars, never hauled them. Jay knows all about that stuff. So we have to head on out here to see what's going on. Best companies don't advertise. That's true, too. Want to make as much look at Cheeseman. Limited hiring, but they pay, treat you well, and keep you moving. Yeah, you don't see many Cheeseman ads. None that I've seen for at least a long time. With that schedule, you could commute. I made 6 figures my second year. That's nice. Since 6-figure trucker series, where you show your pay statements and you still put it on the glass now, where you are now. So to help people out. That's what it's all about, just helping people, right? So, Midlife Trucker, thank you for being here today. I appreciate it. Deliver and pick up tires at Walmart. 90% of their drivers are nice and seem satisfied. Yeah. They all have uniforms, too. Nice. Roger Pensky, thank you for being here. Warm out there. Young Siles, thank you for being here and putting that out there. You know, I get a lot of complaints about the place. To see somebody that can work the right system in there and make it work, that's pretty awesome. Come out to Vegas. We'll have to spend some time working out, where you do most of the working out, by the way. Joan Harper was here today. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Next job, just go get a job and quit. You'll feel better. Believe me. George Wilson was here. Thank you for coming in. James Sherry was here. John Zablack was here today. Let's see here where we go. Where am I going? Oh, Gino. Hey, what's going on? Gino was here today. B-Man Hemi Forever. Even though we're Fords here, I still appreciate it and had many Chryslers. Thank you for being here today. Let's see, where was I up here? Oh, I lost my little spot again, as normal, as I usually do. Kim Ackerman was here today. Thank you for being here. Brad Mitchell. We're going to have to head on out. Dreamer's Seat. Bantu Mandinka. There we go. I always try to pronounce everybody's name. So people think I'm not pronouncing your name. I'm making funny. I'm not. A name is just a name. So I try to get them right. Not making fun of people's names, believe me. Not in my position with my name anyway. So that's what we're doing here. And we're going to head on out and see what they have to go on over at work today. I want to thank everybody for being here. There'll be more videos, especially about this illegal no poaching thing. I think that's the most fascinating thing this week. Go check that out. CRST. Be safe. Stay cool, right? Hydrated, as they say. Always fresh